TalkSport. You're listening to Kick-Off Live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. And we're here for the game of Craven Cottages. Fulham take on Forest. Let's remind you of the team news with your commentator, Joe Shepard.
And Fulham make only one change. The team beaten by Newcastle in last week's League Cup quarter-final. Leno is back in goal in place of Lecomte. So Leno between the posts, Tete, Anderson, Quaker and Robinson, Lukic and Berger, Wilson, Smith-Rowe and Kevin in support of Raul Jimenez up front. For Nottingham Forest, one change also to the team that beat Spurs in the Premier League over a week ago now. Douglas Luiz for Sangare, who is away on international duty. John Victor in goal, Savona, Milenkovic, Murillo and Williams. Douglas Luiz and Anderson, Hutchinson, Gibbs-White and Hudson-Odoi in support of Igor Jesus up front.
Joe, thanks very much. Time now then to look at our magic moments of the weekend, all thanks to Ladbrokes from Ladbrokes.
Magic moments of the weekend on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get free bets every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Satisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
And I can guarantee you one of these three will be unexpected. We'll get to that in a moment. Danny Murphy, what have you gone for?
I've gone for the Reece James free kick up with Newcastle. Talk about big moments, game-changing moments for his team. I'm a big fan of his area. He's a wonderful footballer. He did a lot of good things in the game, tackles, defensive work, but that goal changed the momentum. They were awful in the first half, and a 2-0, he needs something magical, and it was a brilliant free kick. At first, when I first saw it, I thought maybe the keeper should have got it, but looking at it on a few replays, the pace and the dip went in off the post. We've seen it do it before, of course, in the England shirt, not so many times for Chelsea, but this shows the quality he's got. And then I think I remember him as well doing a last-ditch tackle later on in the game. But the actual technical ability to score that free kick at such an important time, outstanding.
I'm with you, because when I watched it back, I straight away said in my head, oh, Ramsdale.
Yeah.
Because I look at Ramsdale, I'm going to do well, he's made a mistake there. And then I watched it again, and I thought, that's a safe one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it goes to the inside of the
maybe if you call Swap, because, someone with a massive wingspan, but it was always dipping away, moving away from the centre of the goal towards the post, but it was a case, yeah. And from it's quite a way out, as well.
Yeah, it was, a distance. Can I just say, I'm getting a bit fed up with all these people, notably Chelsea fans, I think, saying they need older heads, they need experience. Reece James is 26, and I wonder when you stop being young. And also, we've got to remember, 30 years ago when Man City won the title with kids, where you can't win anything with kids, they're good enough. I'm sorry, Man United, yeah.
They didn't just have kids, though, that was a myth.
Well, that somebody,
yeah.
Somebody says.
The only thing is, I kind of hear you, but I think I can only talk about my own career, and I won't go too much detail, but so much of it, my success, was based around a team with experienced players in it. I'm talking about words of wisdom in moments, on and off the pitch, so big, eh? And although Reece James, football-wise, is experienced enough now, he's a quiet guy. He's not a rollicker, he's not a grab people by the scruff of the neck and lift them up, so it's not that tight. And yet somebody, it's not really captain material, he's a footballing genius. I love him, I think he's the most complete right back in Europe, probably. But I don't think he's a proper, what you call a captain when you think of the captains over the years. I'm talking about someone at the back for them who organises and leads, and you can see them verbally, having a go at players, encouraging them, organising them, whatever it may be. But that's the way they're going. But you could argue sometimes now that's gone a little bit anyway, even from teams with senior players. How often do we sit and watch games now and you see players running around?
Yeah.
That used to be every week when I played, not with me.
I was speaking to a lower league manager some years ago at the start of the season. I said to him, what are you going to do? And he said, quite like a lot of players in the squad, but, and no offence, we need ball heads in midfield. And you knew what he meant. The vultures are rare because of that whole for their experience. That's what he was talking about, the wisdom of experience. So, and they went down without the ball heads in midfield.
Some as we said about boldness.
Let's not go there right now. goal. So not the Haaland goal, the Tiani Rangers goal. And it's because of Cherky, really. This guy's got a chance of being player of the season. His feet are so quick. And when he just did a little in and out, Robin is West Ham player of the ball, then laid it off to Haaland, whose feet were equally quick, by the way. And he's laid a little pass inside that Rangers has picked it up when it could easily have been miscontrolled. Then the ball's glued to his feet before he slams it in the roof of the net. I honestly think he should be a contender for goal of the season because the skill involved is that good.
Well, I mean, Turkey's got these wonderful moments in him, and he's one of these players where you think, oh, you know, is he a 10, is he a wide man coming in on his left, or... But because he's so gifted and talented, he can play in any of those roles. I mean, you could argue, and we'll see this as City play the bigger games as the season goes on, you know, what does he give you defensively, is he disciplined, all those things, we'll have to wait and see. But he's capable of wow moments that people pay to go and watch, and that's what football's about. The biggest compliment made to him is actually when you think of the impact Mamouche had when he came to the club, and he's been on the bench a lot because of Cherky's link up with Haaland. I think Haaland really enjoyed playing with him. What would you say on that quickly is that I wonder if Pep had a go at him about that little bit skill you said, you know, with the rebellion, you know, because he hammered him for that, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
I don't know if he hammered him for that. It's what you like and what you don't like.
I think he's trying, well, he said as much in the pre-match press conference on Friday, ahead of the West Ham game, that he's trying to keep his feet on the ground. He doesn't want to praise him too much. And you can understand that, yeah. But yeah, you're right, he's worth paying money to see. Here's a random one. Matching on the weekend, Joseph.
You will never guess this. I nearly did go for the Reece James free kick, and I knew that Danny would appreciate it because of how good you were at the balls in your career.
Well, can I just say, I did only go for it because I thought Morgan Rodgers might be too obvious, because he deserves a mention, surely, to go.
I wasn't allowed to pick Morgan Rodgers, although I thought he was the obvious choice. I've gone for a moment that is not significant because of the quality of the goal, but the significance of the moment for Burnley Football Club, and that is Armando Broja's injury time equaliser at the weekend. First goal for the club, broke the 7-game losing streak for Burnley, who knows how important that point could be for them come the end of the season. Might it start a revival for Scott Parker's team? You can tell in his post-match interview just how buzzing he was to get Burnley off the mark again, move them up to 11 points at the table. And I'm giving it to Burnley and Broja too. And for the Burnley fans, what a long trip that is, the weekend before Christmas, from the northwest in Lancashire all the way down to the south coast. And for me, that is my moment of the weekend.
You having that?
No, he's not keen.
Well, he does more miles than most fans in a week, and he can never get some magic
Where's
miles.
my magic moment, Joe?
Well, they're paying to go, aren't they?
Oh, good point, yeah. I didn't think about that.
All that petrol money, the food, the ticket.
If you look at the nets, I'm not sure it works out. Well, there you have it. Those were our magic moments of the weekend that brought us satisfaction thanks to the Ladbrokes 18 Club Campbell away. Go home.
Magic moments of the weekend on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Satisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
And so you may well be wondering where Morgan Rodgers is. Well, he's got his own special section, 4 goals in 2 games for the England number 10. Is he catapulting Aston Villa to a Premier League title?
Aston Villa 1, Manchester United 0, and this is an absolute peach from Morgan Rodgers.
Yeah, terrific football. Really, really good play. So strong, getting on over the ball.
Fast off wide, and only 23.
He lost through the ball. He's coming to me with the glove. It's fantastic.
Morgan Rodgers at the double, and his second goal is just as sumptuous as the first.
The way that Rodgers just improved month after month under Unai Emery, he actually looks like a player who really feels he belongs at the elite level.
That's what all attackers strive for. The consistency of that is the difference between good and great.
He even spoke a few weeks ago to TalkSport and said, you know what, he wants to finish. He's finishing to be better. He's trying the ball to be better.
10 minutes to go. West Ham United 2, Aston Villa 3. Rodgers was second of the game, and this was something special.
I know I've got some way to go to be the player I want to be and to get better. And it's just about taking it in my stride and taking criticism, taking the good and the bad, and just trying to improve and normally get better. And see how far I can take my ability and the potential that I have.
You have to start talking surely about the
the Rodgers-inspired villains as potential title winners.
We've got individuals who could win football matches for them, and that's a healthy sign.
Well, it's nearly 2 years since Aston Villa signed Morgan Rodgers from Middlesbrough, a transfer that raised a few eyebrows. I can remember one TalkSport pundit said, well, he's only ever going to be on the bench for Aston Villa. Emery said we're really excited to work with him. Hopefully he can progress here, like we think he will. I'm not quite sure he had this in mind. And the fee was a down payment of £8 million. Just £8 million. Danny Murphy, it's great to watch because he's producing some magic stuff. Great goals, defining moments as well. And he's made that England starting verb at the moment his own in the number 10 role. We could never have predicted this when Villa picked him up. I think everybody was a bit surprised. I saw one fan podcast at the time when he signed for Villa from Middlesbrough saying Middlesbrough will have Aston Villa's pants down with this transfer. Incredible.
Well, I mean, doing a little bit of history on him, he was really highly thought of in his academy days, city days, and then playing all the England teams with Jude and all that quality of player.
They're good mates, yeah.
Yeah, so he was always thought of as being this. And maybe a lot of players have a little spell where they go backwards. I mean, so what he is now is a beautiful balance between a technically gifted player and physically strong and quick. Very rarely to get the both in one package. He can go past people effortlessly with strength and speed, and his end product is just getting better, his confidence is growing. The irony is, and it's great to watch also, yeah, in terms of what we're talking about with 4 runs on season, getting off your seat. These last few weeks, when Tielemans has come in as a 10 and Rodgers has gone on the left, he's actually finding himself getting more space and more chances on goal. Because you know how to get to the middle of the park is at times when teams try and stop you playing, shut up the middle and leave it to go wide. So the Arsenal game was a great example of where he was drifting in from wide areas into the space when he could see it, when where it is rather than being stood in there. Tielemans was doing that job and occupying people. So it's great for England. Because I'm looking at it now, and I think if you're picking a team for England, right, who's going to impact England games the most? Well, Bellingham we know he does. He's proved it in Tottenham, so he plays. And you put Rodgers on the left. Because tell me who impacts games more than him on the left. I mean, Gordon's numbers are nowhere near. Rashford's doing okay, Barcelona, but you'd have Morgan Rodgers ahead of him now, most people would, I think, in terms of all-round game, impacting games at the highest level. So this little spell where Emery's playing him on the left, and will continue to do so while Tielemans is playing so well, is, I think, great for Bellingham and great for England, because as of now, if you had Saka, Bellingham, Morgan, Rodgers and Kane, as of now, if the World Cup starts tomorrow, I'm sorry, you're reading that team sheet going, we're in trouble for all 4 of those. All 4. Whereas Rashford can be a bit hot and cold, Andy Gordon, end product, getting better, but not at Rodgers' level, doesn't score enough. I like him, by the way. I'm not saying he's a bad player. What I'm saying, are you saying Rodgers can't play on the left for England? Of course he can.
So, very quickly, does that mean that, I mean, he can play at 10 as well. Bellingham can play 10, he can play deeper, so they're versatile, which means they're definitely going to be in the England squad. I think both of those are barring injury and God forbid. So, people like Foden and Palmer have got an issue. They've got to work hard to get into that squad.
Not to get into the squad. I think you need an abundance of talent that are game changers. I would be going. I'd go more top heavy than defensively heavy when I go to a tournament, so you know you've got firepower because you can outgun people. I would imagine Palmer needs to start doing what he scored in his second game back. He needs to just get back to his normal levels. He'll be in. And Foden's playing tremendously well. How could you not take them both as backup?
Well, there's still an abundance of 10s, so I'm fascinated by this.
He does like wingers, doesn't he? So you won't play Foden wide, and I don't think he'll play Palmer wide.
No.
The irony is, when Palmer first went to Chelsea and played wide, he was outstanding off the line.
But Rodgers playing off the left, yeah, you're right. That takes up that position. He must be hot for that position, which leaves Bellingham at 10, and the other midfielders are sorted out. We'll talk about one of those teammates in just a moment. You're listening to Kick Off Live on TalkSport with Ladbrokes 18 plus gambleaway.org.
Kick off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes 18 plus gambleaway.org. Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are in the fans-only stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the right start. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue, unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there. His favourite ice cold beer. What a result! Get your game live in the pub and grill at Village. Get in. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
The buffet of sport is open this Boxing Day weekend at Betfair. From football and the NFL to the King George Chase and the World Darts Championship, it's a feast of festive fixtures. And with money back as a free bet if you're multi-losers across any sport, the action just got sweeter. Fancy a bite? Betfair.
Opt in and place a £2, £50 multi-bet. Minimum 3 legs at 1.5 odds. Place up to 9 AM on the 22nd of December 2025. Easy to play. 18 plus gamble rate of 4. Beats another day at Spruce Beats. And Simon Farah is learning her own.
So, no, with Click and Collect we get orders ready fast. So customers are avidly and back their jobs in as little as 1 minute. What are you doing?
Tip lunches. It's my warm-up. I need to be in peak condition for when orders come in.
Love that intensity, no? Laser focused. You might be allowed what it takes to beat my BB one day.
Looking him out.
Click and collect in as little as 1 minute. Just 3 things. No stopping you. This Christmas, McDonald's at the end of the shelf are bringing festive tasks to your little ones. Like writing a Christmas card for your posting.
Thank you. You're one happy helper.
Some fun, some food, it's all inside this handy meal. Until the 30th of December, from 11 AM, includes one selected book or tonic while stocks last. Subject to availability, fair ordering policy applies.
As you can hear from my voice, I'm in a state of high exhilaration. Yes, I am positively beside myself. The reason that I can't buy the container enthusiasm is the IKEA winter sale. 4 weeks of incredible bargains. The inexpressible thrill of finding precisely the right thing at the right price. Sale now on IKEA, the wonderful every day.
Oh, he's really opened up the Sun newspaper there, Jim.
No question, Clive. Straight in the middle and right into the feet below goals.
Goals, yes. The ultimate football coverage with the best expert writers, in-depth tactical analysis, unrivaled coverage from every league and all the latest football action.
I think you've said it all there, Clive.
Sorry, Jim.
Not to worry, I was reading my copy of goals anyway.
Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday only in the Sun.
We all fantasize about our perfect home, watching the game cozied up in the sun. Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn. But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on market. Most time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 is under 3 minutes. Excludes no line.
Kick off live on Talk Sports with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now with enterprise.co.uk. More fun than paying your gas bill. Kick off live on Talk Sports. Broken into the England side and show the world what he's capable of, people are more likely to accept it.
With a real confidence about what he's done, the rest of the team trusting in regard to that, and he's done exactly what he's asked to do, playing in that position.
He moves, jinks past players, his vision, his calmness on the ball reminds me of Zinedine Zidane, and he's got that aggression, desire to win like Brookie.
He's just growing in confidence, isn't he? He's done really good.
And he's a very good player, and he's a good person as well, and I like that mixture.
He is at the moment one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. That's why he's with us and that's why he starts.
I've just got to take everything as it comes and try and deal with it and take it as my stride. But no, I'm really enjoying my football at the minute and it's going just how I would like.
An incredible piece of business for Forest. I dearly hope we can keep hold of him, but I just think that he is a world-class talent and the sky's the limit for him.
Recently we've sort of hit a little bit of form and picked up some good results. So yeah, hopefully we'll carry that on.
So, was that Top Sports Max Scott Forest fan comparing Elliot Anderson to Zidane? Did I see that right? Is that right?
Is it? What is he? I don't understand. I nearly said something that I'm not here.
Well, if I take you back a couple of years, Elliot Anderson was on loan from Newcastle to Bristol Rovers, and Joey Barton, then the Bristol Rovers manager, compared him to Maradona. I mean, you've just mentioned the England front four with Elliot Anderson behind him. We're going to win the World
Well, let's bring it back to reality. He's a physically in a really good spot. Like, looks really aggressive and quick, and he's got a nice ability to drive with the ball and go past people, which is rare for midfielders these days. Not many of them can do that. He's nice and confident, progressive with his passing. 1 goal, 1 assist. I want to see a bit more. To be called a top quality midfielder. To be starting comparing him to names like that is ludicrous, to be honest. He's a very good player who's progressing nicely, but let's not get too carried away.
Okay, so in that position, you've got Adam Morton there as well, who's a very similar player, but
I think Curtis Jones is somebody else who doesn't get talked about enough. I'd have Curtis Jones ahead of Morton in an England shirt, playing in that role, to be honest with you. Mainly not because I'm not a fan of Warner at all, he's another good footballer in midfield. But Curtis Jones is quicker, more athletic. And Curtis Jones has played in huge football matches for his football club all over Europe and domestic club. You know, playing under big pressure every week. And I think in a World Cup, you're not going to be let down by Curtis Jones. And I think Curtis Jones, playing the way he is at the moment, is Ellie Anderson's biggest competition.
I do think Curtis Jones isn't talked about enough. He's massively underrated.
He's had his best month this season. He's been terrific the last month. He'll compete with Ellie Anderson. If he carries on playing like he is, that's going to be a good back. You know, I mean, I know Ellie Anderson's got the shirt, rightly so. But that's the competition I see, because I think Chico likes legs and aggression.
I think it's going to be an interesting battle. I think Anderson is the number 1.
Yeah, I mean,
there's still half the season to go. You don't know what's going to happen here. And actually, I think Anderson is winning in this, because Sean Oates has come in and it's not Dyche's ball that's being played. Possession is up for Nottingham Forest, up compared to what Dyche was doing with previous clubs. Passing stats are up, long balls are down. So it's a look at the squad and thought we could play a bit of football.
Well, I think he's all these managers who we categorise as long ball merchants and playing percentages, they'd all like to play a bit better football if you've got better players. But I still think you'll see a pragmatism with Forest. I don't think you'll see them knocking around the 18-yard box when they're being pressed, which I don't think you should either, by the way, and I'm all for that. But when you've got people like Murillo at the back who can come out and play, why not let them? Ellie Anderson will also mean that type of player means you're going to go a bit more possession-based, maybe, because you've got midfielders who can handle the ball. So it's all looking good. I know the position isn't great, but their form is really good. The players seem to be playing with confidence and enjoy what they're doing. And Ellie Anderson, back to the original point, Ellie Anderson, they need to keep him fit, that's for sure.
Well, you mentioned Forest form there. 3 clean sheets in 5. The defence of it's looking good. They won 6 of the last 8 in all competitions. 1-4, lost 2 of the last 6 in the Premier League. So everything is positive apart from that league position. But if those results keep going, then it's going to rectify that league position. But I just mentioned the games that they've got coming up over the Christmas and New Year period, Danny. So there's here tonight, which is a relegation battle. They go to Man City on the 27th, sorry, home to Man City on the 27th, home to Everton on the 30th. Everton have just done them. And then they go to Villa. Then they go to another relegation candidate, West Ham. So it's a big few games, isn't it?
Yeah, and they'll know that they won't be able to get positive results from all those when you think of City and how well they're playing. But seriously, a couple of things keep some above that round, but you don't feel like West Ham are going to go on a run of winning 3 or 4 days. So just keep playing well, because if you keep playing well and getting clean sheet, you'll pick up points, even the odd draw spike from Chris Forest.
I was going to say, so as the teams come out, will Forest be thinking, we'll do us here tonight?
I think tonight they'll be thinking with the players who have got missing and the position just near them, they'll be thinking we can win this, for sure.
Listen, they go on Bob. Fulham, if they win tonight, Nottingham Forest, it's a huge game. Listen, they kick off live on Talksport with Enterprise Renstar, whatever it is. They're here for it. We are offering over 50 live commentaries on Talksport, Talksport 2, Talksport app and Talk Radio across this festive period. We're the only place on national radio for live football commentaries on Boxing Day. We've got EFL commentaries, the Birmingham Derby game at lunchtime on Boxing Day is our 200 live football commentary of this current season. We've also got the only Premier League game on Boxing Day, Man United against Newcastle in the evening. We're also the only place on national radio to hear all 10 Premier League fixtures between the 30th of December and New Year's Day. You just got to keep it on Talksport. Now, last Monday, we had a 4-4 draw live on Talksport. We've got a 5-4 here at Clayton Cottage live on Talksport already this season. So here's my advice. Brace yourselves. Big 3 points for either Fulham or Nottingham Forest. Live exclusive Premier League commentary on TalkSport with former England midfielder Danny Murphy alongside John Shannon.
Thanks, Adrian, and good evening to you as Marco Silva takes the applause from the Fulham fans here at Craven Cottage. You go from the left corner as we look at it, the tunnel beneath the cottage itself and across the pitch to the dugouts on the far side. The last Premier League game before Christmas, and it is a vital one in the fight against relegation. Fulham have a very thin squad and need to reinforce in January. Silva has said as much, while Nottingham Forest have already come on leaps and bounds under Sean Dyche, but they do have a very tough run of games coming up. Both sides have got the chance to put further distance between themselves and the relegation zone tonight, and who will do that and make it a much happier Christmas? Fulham have Leno in goal, Tete, Anderson, Wenger and Robinson, Lukic and Berger, Wilson, Smith-Rowe and Kevin behind Raul Jimenez up front. And for Nottingham Forest, the goalkeeper is Victor, Savona, Milenkovic, Murillo and Nico Williams across the back. Douglas Luiz and Elliot Anderson in the middle, Hutchinson, Gibbs White and Hudson-Odoi behind Igor Jesus up fronters. And Marco Silva and Sean Dyche shake hands on the far side of the field. Danny Murphy reminded really that these are two of the safest pairs of hands you could get in terms of managers in the Premier League.
Yeah, both vastly experienced, both doing great jobs actually. I think obviously one's been in situ a lot longer than the other. And a lot of Fulham fans here want Marco Silva to stay, but first and foremost need to get some wins and get away from that relegation zone. It's the first time really been there in a while, and I think maybe watching them that some of their performances haven't yielded the points they deserve, to be honest with you. But yeah, big challenge for them with this Forest team. On a good run, as Abe said. Got some really talented players and actually a strong bench.
I think the first thing that Forest have done is won the toss and changed ends for the start of the game. So Fulham will attack the Hammersmith end in the first half, which, as you know, Danny, the home fans don't like that.
Do you know what? I'm amazed we don't see this more often again.
Yeah?
I'm amazed that there's, unless you're friendly with the other candidate, you kind of think, you know what, they don't cause any problem. You should be shopping around every time you're in the town, every time, yeah.
Well, that's what Forest have done tonight here at the cottage just before Christmas. And this is just one of the festive 50 this month, and as ever, all the way through the Christmas period as the games really do come thick and fast. The only place to be is Talk Sports. Now it's Fulham to get us underway from left to right then in the first half towards the traditional home end, the Hammersmith end, all in white Fulham, and Nottingham Forest in their shades kit of dark blue with orange trim, and Forest playing from right to left in the first half. The ball is on the left-hand side for Fulham in the very early stages. Kenny Willow right across the face of goal. Nobody could get the final touch. Wilson will keep it at 12 on his side. Back to Kenny Tete. Fulham very nearly making a blistering start with only 15 seconds down.
Brilliant ball from Kenny. Screaming for someone to get on the end of it. Good pace and then a really good delivery right in the right area. For once, Wilson wasn't on the end of it, but good start from the young lad.
Fulham, whose form has improved in the Premier League of late after a difficult run. Kevin down by the dead ball line again, plays it backwards, first time crossed by Robinson, high towards Lukic, who couldn't win the header, beaten in the air by Anderson. Then the Fulham fans want handball against Callum Hudson-Odoi inside the penalty area. Out of play it goes for a Forest throw, just shy of halfway, and the referee is signalling that, well, is he signalling here that he's just in conversation with the VAR, or is he saying actually, no, that's not handball against Hudson-Odoi?
No, they've said move on, yeah.
Anything in it?
No, nothing in that. Good decision.
Too close to the body, wasn't it, the arm?
And he come off his thigh anyway, so that wouldn't have been given.
So 0-0 with not many spare seats to be had at Craven Cottage tonight. We're sitting about 10-15 rows from the edge of the pitch. These are intimate surroundings here in the Johnny Haynes stand. We've got Fulham fans all around us, and Fulham have a throw in the right back position on the near side, and Tete goes square to Sandenberger, the tall midfielder, scoops it high and long, only half away by Milenkovic. It was a slightly miscued header, angled out towards the touchline. Wilson has been given it away. Igor Jesus has got Hudson-Odoi in support on his left-hand side. Before the Chelsea man, pulling it back to the edge of the penalty area. Igor Jesus let it run across his body and then took the shot on. It was turned away by Cuenca for Fulham, the central defender from Spain. And then hacked further clear by Anthony Robinson. The early signs of an open game at Craven Cottage tonight are looking pretty good, Danny Murphy.
Yeah, it's been a good start. That was an early loose ball from Wilson, but well defended in the end by Fulham. I'm not sure that's won't want an open game, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. You can see him on the side of the field beneath the Riverside stand here at Craven Cottage. It is Nottingham Forest tracksuit, and just to his left is Marco Silva watching on with his arms folded. Is he going to sign a new contract and stay at Fulham? That's the big concern for the hopes of Fulham over Christmas. Fulham 0, Nottingham Forest 0. On Talk Sport with 3 minutes gone. Forward by Savona. High driven ball down the middle, and Anderson lets it run into the gloves of his goalkeeper just behind him in red, Bernd Leno. Now Cuenca with the square ball to Berger. Both teams have been affected by the African Cup of Nations, but you feel that it's weakened Fulham more than it has Nottingham Forest. They don't quite have the same depth in the squad, and now Cuenca is caught. Quickly gets street, but yes, Marco Silva down is going to be worried every time any Fulham player goes down anywhere on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, they're big characters that they've lost, especially Iwobi and Bassey, the two leaders in the dressing room, but they've got other players who need to take that chance. The squad isn't as big as others, but they've still got quality there and enough to put themselves in a better position than they find themselves at the moment.
Well, it's a play between Raheem Jimenez and Harry Wilson, right corner of the penalty area, well covered by Eddie Anderson, who rolls it back to John Victor, and the goalkeeper will clear high and long up into the dark skies. Igor Jesus can't retain possession, and Fulham have it back, and just shy of the centre circle now with a very calm Sandenberger in possession. A lively start, an energetic start, but 0-0. And remember, we are the only place on national radio for live football commentaries on Boxing Day. We'll bring you plenty from the EFL and the only Premier League game on Boxing Day. Manchester United against Newcastle at 8 o'clock, and it's live here on Talk Sport. Fulham go back to Leno, and now Cuenca in the left-back position steers it forward. Savona with a half interception, and a play for a Fulham throw far side 0-0.
Yeah, that's one of the occasions. Fulham do like to go out the back, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're good at it, but sometimes it's not on. They can be guilty of overdoing it at times, get themselves in a bit of trouble.
Former Fulham midfielder Danny Murphy's here. Scored the goal that completed that famous great escape under Roy Hodgson. Hospital ball by Anderson for Fulham. Right to left, high out to the far side, and Kevin plucks it out of the air, twisting and turning, trying to get it on. Hudson, he's done that, and then Robinson with a ball backwards. He has to retreat to retrieve it. Now Fulham have lost a bit of territory. Robinson back to the halfway line where Cuenca is standing. Of course, Ryan Sessegnon has been the regular left back for Fulham for much of the season. It's Robinson's 7th appearance in the campaign. Fulham now lose the ball in the middle of midfield. Forrest win it back, and then it's given away by Anderson. Now Raheem Jimenez is pulled away to the right wing position. Square ball infield to Lukic, and Fulham popping it about nicely, but it's still 0-0.
Lukic got to turn there, look forward. Now we're in a better position.
Berger, 25 yards out, wide left is Robinson to dink in the cross. Kenny Tete in the back post will reach it. He knocks the ball square, and it's a miscued clearance by Anderson. The flag is up anyway, well spotted, Danny, and it wouldn't have counted for Fulham anyway.
I think it might have been Robinson, but I'm not sure. It was good overload again. Hutchinson's not tracked Robinson a couple of times there. He's just letting him free. Yeah, that's a tight ball, that one.
Really just.
Shouldn't be putting his flag up when it's that time.
Well, he waited, didn't he, until the end of the move.
Yeah.
Until the phase of play, as they like to call it. I think maybe Aguero was just playing him on. Milenkovic, 6'6" at the back of Forest. His clearance charged down by Raheem Jimenez, who gets the applause of the Fulham fans, the warm applause. He's always a diligent, hard-working player, Raheem Jimenez, and they respond to that sort of hard work here in the Fulham crowd. Many a great memory, I'm sure, Danny, at Craven Cottage for you.
Absolutely. A lot of great talent in this wonderful club. And they're in a position now to try and create those type of times. Yeah, they've got great infrastructure, academies built, new stands built. So the bosses have got to spend some money this game.
That's what they're hoping. That's what Marco Silva is hoping too. In fact, he even said it's not what Marco Silva as a manager needs to improve, it's what Fulham Football Club needs to do.
Absolutely.
He's not wrong, Marco Silva. Fulham 0, Nottingham Forest 0. The ball is on the halfway line with Gibbs White back to Hutchinson with an arcing ball left to right out to the near side of the field, and now Nico Williams in possession. Williams, formerly of Liverpool and formerly of Fulham, had a loan spell at the club. Out wide is Hudson-Odoi again, 1-on-1 with Kenny Tete. Hudson-Odoi trying to twist and turn beyond it, squeezes the pass into the picture, Gibbs White, lets it White to Williams. And the low ball in is turned over the top by Igor Jesus. That was some good football from Nottingham Forest in a very tight area. In the end, it just lacked the finishing touch.
Great move. Best move for Forest. Started by Hudson-Odoi. It's the touch from Morgan Gibbs White, just round that corner, gets him in behind, and then it's a good run. Jesus just gets a bit too far past the near post, can't reverse it back on target, but it's a good run, a good move. Positive.
He's in good goal scoring form. Igor Jesus, the Brazilian, 2 goals in his last 4. Both of those have come away from home. Fulham up the other end now with Kevin up to get to the penalty area, trying to work an angle for a shot. It's a tight angle and he's sandwiched in between 2 giants at the back for Forest, Savona and Milenkovic, and Nottingham Forest smuggle the ball up towards the halfway line where Gibbs White is waiting. He loses out to Quaker. Berger's ball out to the left, and Robinson let it run across his body because there was a deflection on it, and the Fulham man all in white takes the quick throw to Smith Rowe. Neat ball wide to Wilson. He's in the inside right position. Reverse ball up the inside right towards Raul Jimenez. It's too long, and it's a goal kick.
So lucky. Just on that left side with Kevin, he's got to keep trying to get past me. Doesn't matter if he fails. Don't listen to any moans and groans. If you keep trying to get after him, get inside, get round him, get behind him, he's going to get some joy because he's got pace.
Well, I think what we've seen, Danny Murphy, in the first 9 minutes is exactly what you said about Marco Silva's team before the game began. They're very neat and tidy, and they're good to watch. And especially at Craven Cottage, they're very easy on the eye.
Yeah, they are. And they've got a system they rarely deviate from. He does on occasion, but not very often, so they know what they're doing. They've got their partnerships. Yes, they've got 1 or 2 missing, but they need to get some results. Not make excuses, they need to get some results. Sometimes you need a bit of luck for that to happen.
They do. They are certainly closer to the bottom 3 than maybe they'd have anticipated, and it's given away by Fulham. Eagles are in the area. Low shot is well blocked by the sliding Anderson. Well, Fulham nearly punished there for carelessness at the back, and eventually Robinson has to slice it out of play.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, is the overplaying sometimes. There's a philosophy of playing out and trying to look good and, play through the lines, which we know is fine. A lot of teams do it, but you've got to know when not to. 4-4 mistake out for us.
Yes, it was a really clumsy square ball. Yeah. Straight to Igor Jesus, and Robinson lucky that his teammate,
a great block, Anderson.
well, was so shocked, wasn't it? The captain in the way. And keeping the score at 0-0 here at Craven Cottage on the back to the Thames. Long ball on the left-hand side by Murillo for Nottingham Forest. Hudson-Odoi can't get beyond Tete, always a dependable performer at right back. Kenny Tete, Fulham now out of the League Cup, but we have the last of the quarter-finals for you tomorrow on TalkSport. That's Arsenal against Crystal Palace. And once we're done tonight, you can have your say, as ever, on the Sports Bar with Jeremy Hara and Jason Cundy, 03717 22344. And Douglas Williams made this start tonight for Forest, nudging the ball backwards to Savona, the tall, speedy right fullback. And he's found Hutchinson, who darts away down the right-hand side. Hutchinson, the bigoted, low centre of gravity, can't hold on to possession this time. Fulham with it back, and Kevin's gone down, clutching his head. The referee's going to have to stop it here, because it looks like a head injury for Kevin.
He did brilliantly there, Kevin, helping out Robinson, He got back and doubled up and did his work. That was really good to see, because good play Hutchinson, one-on-one, he could cause Robinson some problems. I think he's just took a whack in the face here, but really good defending from him.
And it's Fulham 0. Ooh, Nottingham Forest 0. And you've just seen a replay of that incident again, Dan.
Yeah, he got pushed into his own player and his head hits his knee. Don't see it quite from that angle. The other angle was a
Nasty collision.
Yeah.
Kevin on Berger. And Kevin is still lying down. And here come the Fulham physios. Goalless on Talk Sport with Sky Sports. And don't forget you can stream all the Sky Sports action with now. Flexibly like Fulham against Nottingham Forest live right now. Search Now Sports. And well, there is some concern here for Kevin, who is still lying on the turf, still being treated, and that's allowed the Fulham and Nottingham Forest players to go across to the far side and get some instructions, take on some water. What do you made of the first 12 and a half minutes, Danny? It's looked lively at moments for both teams, but neither quite with that cutting edge so far.
Well, Fulham have tried to be a bit more productive on the front foot, which is rightly so when you're at home. Forest easing away a little bit more, but yeah, not too much between the sides at the moment. Worrying about the Kevin lying down, still on his front. The first time I saw he took the kneecap round his forehead, side of his forehead there, so hopefully, when you see someone down that long, you start to worry.
He's breathing heavily here, Kevin, as he's treated by two Fulham physios. It was a completely accidental collision with his own player stumbling, wasn't he, Kevin? And then the head broke into Sander Berger's knee. And he's looking up now, they're doing all of the usual concussion protocols, all of the testing, but you wonder whether Fulham will have to make a change here, whether Kevin can carry on. Former Fulham midfielder Danny Murphy is with us in the commentary box. I mean, they have options, but it is a very thin squad. I can see the stretchers already, Danny, in case they need them as well.
No, he's looking better. They have got. So they should have taken the played off team to bring him on in that position when I was more of a 10, but he's played off the left before.
I think Chukwueze is a massive miss, isn't he? Given the form that I saw him here against Manchester City in that amazing 5-4, scored two identical but two brilliant goals.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. He's done alright well. He's been super consistent for the football club.
In a deeper role this season as well.
Because he used to play the wider one, didn't he? That's good to see. He's up and about.
Yeah. And I think he'll be able to carry on here, Kevin. He seems to have run it off. Of course, they'll have to go off temporarily. Fulham are going down to 10 for a few moments, and the game resumes in the 15th minute with the score 0-0. And Kevin is okay. Here is Murillo, the stocky Murillo, with a high crossfield ball for Nottingham Forest. It's nodded down by Hutchinson, the former Ipswich Town man. And now it's with Milenkovic on the halfway line. Square ball to Anderson. Anderson to Hudson-Odoi. Forest in this dark blue away kit tonight with orange trim. Anderson pings a high ball down the middle. It skids off the turf. It's gathered easily.
It was actually a low ball. We mishit it. He meant to give it a bit higher to try and play Hutchinson in, but he wouldn't call it a shank. He was the opposite, a little duck hop. I like the fact he tries it though. He looks so fun. I'm going to try it.
But he does need more goals, more assists in his game.
I think any midfielder does, yeah, even if you're playing a bit deeper. You can assist from anywhere on the pitch. I think most midfielders should take, or do take pride in creating chances and making goals for people. Your job is to create. The defensive stuff's a bonus as well. But he doesn't sit in front of the back four. He's high up the pitch a lot of the time, Ellie Anderson. So I really can argue he would score more goals in a better team, maybe, that's fair.
They are improving under Sean Dyche, no doubt about that. Kevin's back on the field, and now he's racing through the middle. Great pace away from Savona. Here is twisting, turning and shooting. Blocked by Murillo from just inside the 18-yard box. Now Smith Rowe. Wide left is Robinson with a first-time cross. Kevin goes up with a header, headed away by Nico Williams. Now Wilson plays it backwards to Anderson, and Kevin's pace is causing Forest all sorts of trouble in these opening 16 minutes on Talk Sport.
It is. He should have kept going though. He was in. He didn't trust himself. Maybe he's still a bit groggy from the fall, but they recovered well. Forest and got to block him. He cut back in on himself instead of trusting himself to keep running on that left foot.
Now Quaker, who is quite a long way out, 30-35 yards. Smith Rowe back to Berger in the central position. Sander Berger for Fulham, urged to shoot, decides not to. Berger, who's never scored in a Fulham shirt. 0-0. Ball driven in by Quaker, header away by Murillo, retreating, got it down by Wilson, and then a very calm actually there. The initial touch from Milenkovic to just nudge the ball forward a couple of yards. It's hammered high towards Igor Jesus, who got the better of Quaker. Quaker then hauls it down. That's an obvious foul and a free kick to Nottingham Forest.
Good move by Fulham, and then Forest do get away. It's a big long clearance upfield. Jesus against two centre backs. What am I going to say here? Don't let the ball bounce if you're a centre back. Oh my God.
Never let it bounce.
Can't let it bounce. You've got to get the first contact. As soon as he missed the first contact, he's in trouble.
Kevin's pace meanwhile, Danny. I mean, it's a good block in the end, recovery block by Savona, but he's the outlet for Fulham, isn't he?
He's got the beating of Savona. Yes, he's just that on that particular occasion. I don't think he trusted himself to keep going on his weaker foot when he should have.
Free kick Forest, long way out. Douglas Luiz has just touched into the path of Murillo. High diagonal, up goes Anderson, and that's going to flick and drift aimlessly wide of goal. Goal kicked to Fulham away to our left-hand side in front of the Putney end, which is split between home and away supporters. The away end sold out. About 2,700 have made the trip down the motorway from Nottingham. They're all on their feet, lots of flashes of red and white scarves behind the goal. Even at this time of year, Nottingham Forest supporters backing their team in big numbers. Little flick nudged down to the path of Douglas Luiz, and then Hutchinson to try and put it back into a bobbling ball. Igor Jesus couldn't reach it, and it's scooped upfield by Anderson. Still 0-0. Forest have it with Anderson again. Angled ball out to the far side. Hutchinson takes the possession. One-on-one with Robinson as he cuts in field. Eventually Kevin is there to help win it back, and then Smith Rowe smothers it forward into the path of Lukic, who gives it away. Straight to Murillo. Fulham trying to play some nice stuff through the thirds. They gave it away momentarily there, but Lukic quickly snaps back to win it back in the middle of his own half. You hear the Fulham fans trying to get involved. The game has lost a bit of its zip since that injury to Kevin, who is okay. Forest throw on the halfway line, base of that new Riverside stand, and in between the two managers. Great record that Forest have got already under Sean Dyche. Lost only 3 of 12 in all competitions. They won one of their first 11 this season under Nuno. And then I don't know about you, Danny, but I sometimes forget that Ant Postecoglou was in charge. It was 40 days.
That's because it was very forgettable.
Certainly nothing usual about it for him.
It was a bizarre one, I don't really think about it. The complete contrast of what they've been doing to get success. And now they've gone back to kind of what we were doing before, which it's bizarre really. But at least he spotted his mistake early and made the change, I suppose.
Absolutely. Angelos Marinakis, decisive. Here is Hudson-Odoi for Nottingham Forest, left corner of the penalty area, reverse forward to the path of Hutchinson, back up wide now to Nico Williams, dead ball line, low ball in, tucked away by Anderson upfield and away from danger for Fulham. One back by Murillo for Nottingham Forest, unopposed, nobody in white was anywhere near Murillo. And now Hudson-Odoi with the roll down the left-hand side. Wilson gets a foot in, and let's get used for goal at AFCON with Ian Abrahams.
Egypt 0, Zimbabwe 1. The goal of 20 minutes scored by Dube. Let the ball come across him and curl with his left foot into the corner. Mo Salah's had a really busy evening so far. They have to get busier though. Egypt's about line. Egypt 0, Zimbabwe 1.
Thanks Ian. Here from Nottingham Forest, 0-0 with Murillo. Back to goal, Igor Jesus towards the edge of the D, and he's pushed the ball into the path of Douglas Luiz, who angles his pass out to the right-hand side. Hutchinson back to Douglas Luiz again. Fulham relatively well organised off the ball, but Douglas Luiz has broken forward and he fizzes in a low cross, which is well gathered by Leno. Sliding in was Igor Jesus, trying to poke it home. Goalkeeper handled it well on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Just starting to get themselves into this game. Forest having some prolonged periods of possession and out of the pitch, pinning Fulham back a little bit.
Now, Forest win it back half the pitch again with Anderson. Good tackle by Raul Jimenez tracking back, and it's out to the left back position of Robinson. I mean, we mentioned he's an exceptionally hard worker. Here he is again on halfway, finding Kevin. Kevin rolls the ball wide to Wilson. Infield from the right-hand side as he loves to do. Onto that one on the left foot. Wilson, was he fouled on the edge of the box? No, says the referee. And Nottingham Forest can't smuggle it away initially with Anderson. A slight nervousness and clumsiness about the defending there. The referee adamant it wasn't a foul on Wilson as he looked to break towards the edge of the area, but Fulham have got a throw. In fact, they don't. It's a free kick to Forest.
Yeah, it's a foul from Tete, a really silly one because they've got them pinned in. It was another good breakaway from Fulham actually, and then Jimenez started with that tremendous work back. He's trying everything he can. He's working for the team. He's tireless at the moment, but Wilson just overdid it. Don't think it was a foul on the edge of the box. He just overran it, and they crowded him out rightly so. They're going to know he's a danger when he comes in on that foot.
He is having an amazing run, isn't he, Harry Wilson? 3 goals, 3 assists in his last 4 in the Premier League. And in the summer, it was widely thought he would leave the club, but not so. Made himself a rejuvenated star of the team. As Fulham win it back with Kevin out on the far side there left. Kevin will, with fancy footwork, to nudge it back into the path of Berger. He feeds Lucas, pokes on to Raul Jimenez from a long way out. The shot is blocked. Cleared away, only half dealt with by Williams for Nottingham Forest. And Fulham have got it back with Lukic, who's about 5 yards from the corner of the penalty area. Lovely flick round Jimenez towards Wilson, away by Murillo. Sweeps it high upfield.
Good from Jimenez, nice and inventive and creative. Probing there, Fulham. I think Anderson might have a problem. Telling him to kick it out.
Yeah. Fulham, well, they keep possession for the moment, but Anderson is saying to Berger, put the ball out and play. I wonder what the issue is. Can he carry on here?
I don't know, but that would be a massive blow to lose him. Not only his defensive work, but his passing ability is as good as his finger's not dislocated his finger. He just needs it bottom back in.
Yeah.
Just wedding finger, yeah. Not going to be able to put his ring back on. He's going to get in trouble with that now.
Well, I think they should be able to sort this out pretty easily, pretty quickly.
Well, they can see he's not faking it, so he shouldn't have to go off for 30 seconds, but he will, won't he?
Well, he's being treated at the moment, Anderson, and it's still 0-0 here on Talk Sport. Joachim Anderson of Fulham, this is, who is being treated at the moment, and Igor Jesus is watching him as well. We haven't seen the goalkeeper make a serious save in the game as yet. That's been the one thing that's been lacking. Still 0-0 after 24 minutes.
Well, we talked about Fulham's lack of goals. And that's been a problem for sure. You can see that even in the first 25 minutes. They get into some really good positions and they're lacking that killer instinct and that little bit of calmness. Forest, you don't expect them to be as creative on the road or away from home early in the game. Build your way into the game. I expect more from them as they grow into it with the quality they've got.
2 places in the Premier League, 2 points between them at the start of the night. Fulham with the advantage. We are back tomorrow night on Talk Sport for Arsenal against Crystal Palace in the League Cup quarter-final. Then on Boxing Day from 12:30, Talk Sport will bring you Birmingham against Derby in the Championship. From 1 o'clock, Millwall against Ipswich is on Talk Sport 2. Then at 3 o'clock on 2, commentary in the Championship leaders play Swansea. 5:30 on commentary is Wrexham against Sheffield United, again on Talk Sport 2. And then on Talk Sport, we will have the only Premier League game of Boxing Day, live and exclusive. It's Manchester United against Newcastle United, all part of the festive 50 on the network. And Anderson, Joachim Anderson, still being treated here, still having to see that dislocated finger sorted out by the 2 physios. And there is quite a lengthy delay again here, and the 2 injury stoppages that we have had, they're both resolvable, but it won't help the momentum of the game one bit.
No, but they won't. I mean, this type of situation, what can you do? He's right to call them on, get it done.
It's been bandaged up, hasn't it, Danny?
Well, I think they've obviously put it back into place, and now they just put some on it to keep it, stop him from having any more problems with it. But something like the truth that he is, big top centre off.
Yes, he's such a familiar name in the Fulham team, isn't he? Joachim Anderson. He's pretty much the first name on the team sheet for his leadership qualities, if nothing else.
And his passing from the back is
Yeah.
outstanding. It really is.
He's very good at that long diagonal ball, isn't he?
He is, the cross-field one, yeah. He enjoys it now.
Oh, they'll be back on in a moment, Joachim Anderson. Fulham goalkeeper Leno left-hand side. It's been a disjointed first 26.5 minutes. Leno goes long, header away by Murillo, nudged back over the halfway line by Cuenca. Murillo's there again, bit of head tennis as Fulham want to get Anderson back on. Berger is coming through at centre half at the moment. Anderson gets the nod and he's back on the field. Berger at the moment is going to stay at centre half just while Leno clatters the ball downfield. Header away, towering header by Murillo again. Well brought down by Berger, who rolls the pass forward to Kevin, 30 yards out. Kevin knocks the ball wide, left on the angle to Robinson, back now to Emile Smith-Rowe. 5 yards from the corner of the penalty area. Still goalless on TalkSport. Robinson is away on the left-hand side, but he's well tracked by Amari Hutchinson. Hutchinson now will lay the ball square to Savona. And Nottingham Forest have possession. Back he goes to John Victor, the goalkeeper. He kept a clean sheet against Tottenham in his Premier League debut, and he's not been tested at all by Fulham so far tonight. So you'd think that at this point, Sean Dyche is the happier of the managers?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'd like to see Emile Smith-Rowe get a bit more on the ball and get involved. I thought he passed the book a bit there when he played it out wide to Robinson. He was already marked. You know, you're the number 10. Get on it, make some happen, play into the forward's feet. Go past someone, get a shot off, try and impact the game. That's what your job is if you're a 10. You've got to make a difference. You've got to be a game changer. You've got to make things happen.
At the moment, we're not seeing enough of those key players in key positions, really, for
either side. Yeah, Gibbs White did one little bit in the early stages, but quick. It's a don't get me wrong, when a team's got a lot of midfielders in there, it's hard to get on there when you're creating space, but that's your job, you know, to play under pressure, get the ball in tight areas, really take risks, be the difference maker.
Well, Adrian, before the game, was talking about that 5-4 that we had here, so inevitably, first half was always going to be a cagey 0-0. Berger will bring back. No, still a long way to go. 28 minutes have been played. Here is Lukic back to Joachim Anderson. He's going to scoop the ball high downfield over the head of Raul Jimenez, and it's gone back by Nikola Milenkovic. Followed the header of Savona all the way back to goalkeeper Victor. And West Ham were interested in him. It was reported before Nottingham Forest made the move. It was a potential choice between Matt Hermanson and John Victor, and West Ham, of course, they went for Hermanson, who, has to be said, has not really been a success. Forward by Anderson for Nottingham Forest, and he slices it out of play. It's a Fulham throw just over halfway, 0-0. For the latest odds, head to Ladbrokes. Right now you can get Fulham at 17-10 to win. The draw is 9-5, and a Forest win also at 9-5. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes 18+, and do visit gambleaware.org. Leno, all in red, plays a short pass to Anderson, and the atmosphere is suffering a little here because of the lack of impetus and the lack of real attacking quality on the field up to this point of the game. That's a good reverse ball infield by Smith-Rowe to Raul Jimenez inside the penalty area, and he was waiting for the run of Kevin on the overlap, putting it forward, expecting Kevin to be there, and what happens, Danny Murphy? It's out for a goal kick.
Well, that's fine. He played it blind. He didn't look. That's why. But the first bit was really good. Emile Smith-Rowe just been talking about gets it out on that left side. Nice, positive forward pass. They've got runners. Just picks the wrong one. He doesn't look. He had two good options to the right of him and nobody to the left. So that's those areas of the pitch where it's really difficult, you know, when you're in the final third to always get it right. But Fulham too often at the moment get it wrong. And that's why their goals tally isn't what it should be.
You can see Philip in front of goal. The ball has hit the referee, Anthony Taylor, so Forest will get it back on the halfway line. It was they who were in possession. Milenkovic with a short ball to the number 10, Gibbs White. Now here is Murillo to Milenkovic again. Out to the right-hand side. Elliot Anderson gets it back from Savona. And now Amari Hutchinson trying to wriggle away down that inside right channel. He can't do that. Kevin and then Robinson clipping the ball over halfway for Fulham. And that's overhit Milenkovic. Back to Victor, all in bright orange. And he has been a virtual spectator. Not a great deal of quality in the game at the moment, I have to say. Thumped forward by Milenkovic. High down the Nottingham Forest right, the far side, river side of the ground. Hutchinson back to Gibbs White, the number 10. Gibbs White looks up, angle ball to the far side. Good dummy by Igor Jesus. Elliot Anderson with a looping cross. High to the back post, header away by Wilson. It'll drop to Williams. Williams a long way out on the diagonal, and then sliding in his Tete to poke the ball out of play in front of Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, not only one of the few occasions they got in behind Fulham there. Elliot Anderson over it, crossed terribly. It was a poor ball for him, for a man of his quality. Don't think either keeper's ever said, was it?
No, nothing of note. There was the take from Leno, no cross into the penalty area, but he's not been tested, and neither has Victor at the other end, even quieter really for Nottingham Forest's goalkeeper. Two balls on the pitch, and Williams is going to have to spare one. We've got about 13 minutes of forgettable first half so far to go, but it is a really busy period in and around Christmas, lots of action to come. Fulham hacked the ball clear, smashed upfield high into the sky by Quinker, and then nodded down by Milenkovic. It's chested down by Smith Rowe on the edge of the centre circle. He loses out in the middle of midfield, and now Gibbs White can try and tear beyond Lukic. He's poked it to the left-hand side. Tete beats Igor Jesus to it. Anderson is first for the second ball. Douglas Luiz shoots from range. We know that he's capable from that sort of distance, but not that time. The ironic cheers will tell you the slice well wide.
That was tough. I mean, I like Luiz actually. He's a lovely footballer, and I like the way he sees the pictures early, but that was really bad technically. Lazy.
What's he done wrong?
Well, everything. It just cuts across it, and there's no zip in it. It's like a lazy swipe at it, and it's too far out anyway. Shouldn't be shooting from there.
One score for Nottingham Forest. Douglas Luiz have only scored 17 in the Premier League so far this season. Igor Jesus has worked hard. He's been fouled. Tackle from behind by Lukic. No yellow card. Igor Jesus takes a quick free kick. Well controlled by Hudson-Odoi. Then Tete notches it off his toes. And in the end, the throw goes Fulham's way.
Well, Morgan Gibbs White's having a right top at Jesus for trying to play a quick free kick. It was an awful ball anyway, so they've lost possession. Fulham are struggling on set pieces. One of the first times Fulham got a chance to get the big man up, and he plays a quick free kick and kicks it out play. More or less.
Yeah, he did well to even keep it in, didn't he, Hudson-Odoi? But Tete was the favourite to win it back. That he did. And now Fulham on the other end, Quaker. Square ball to Kevin out on the inside left, and header away by Douglas Luiz in the middle of the Forest midfield. Nobody can really keep hold of possession at the moment. Frustrating game to watch. 0-0. This is Talk Sport with all the Boxing Day football, and the only place on national radio to hear all 10 Premier League fixtures between the 30th of December and New Year's Day. So much live football over the festive period, and then of course into the new year where it all carries on. Berger's dropped in between the two centre-halves for Fulham, quite a heavy back pass to Leno out to Quaker, left corner of the penalty area. Get the sense that a chance could come really from a mistake from either side. The way that
More so Fulham.
do they, Danny?
More so Fulham. Fulham are making some poor choices at times. Forest don't take that many risks.
Is it fair to say cancelling each other out? Or?
Yeah, to a degree, I think that's right. Similar formation, a lot of good battles going on. I think Robinson needs to do better on the ball. He's giving away a lot down in that left back position. And also a bit more positivity from Lukic and Sander Berger. They're a bit predictable and a bit obvious with their passing.
One ball by Joachim Anderson upfield, chested down by Murillo, calmly square into the path of Nico Williams. Danny Murphy's with us on Talk Sport, the Monday Night Football. Every Monday Night Football is live exclusive to national radio, only with us. And it's 0-0 between Fulham and Nottingham Forest as we have 9 minutes to go, plus any added time until the break. Murillo, number 5, he's going to slash the ball into Fulham territory without really looking. It hit Lukic and bounced away. Lukic has got it back again on the near side and he's tripped by Anderson, and that's a foul by the Nottingham Forest man. Free kick to Fulham, and just inside opposition territory, taken square by Lukic to Berger, then on to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe, the former Arsenal man, trying to glide forward. He spots Fernando Robinson, great ball to find him. The cross in is cleared away at the near post. And really the delivery after the lovely ball by Smith Rowe lacked any sort of fizz on it from Robinson. Fulham though got it back in the penalty areas. Kevin with a curling shot, and that's deflected over the top for a corner.
All because of Emile Smith-Rowe starting to influence the game. We talked about it 5 minutes ago. Since then, he's had a couple of really bright moments. Super pass inside the full-back, poor cross from Robinson. They regain possession. Kevin finds himself in the box again. Can't quite get, it's good defending actually from Forest. Inside left position, can't quite get shot off because Elliot Anderson gets a blocking.
Yeah, good work. Diligent work from Elliot Anderson. Corner to Fulham at the Hammersmith end away to our right, taken short. Wilson to Kevin. Wilson's measure is outside, left corner of the penalty area with a great cross. Headed away by Savona. Stopped it from reaching Joachim Anderson or Cuenca. Anderson has got it back for Fulham, and he plays it backwards, about 20 yards to Lukic. Lukic, middle of the Nottingham Forest half. Square ball to Wilson. He is a long way out, but he will carry it goalwards. It's hit Gibbs White, spun up into the air, flicked on by Kevin. Raul Jimenez with a shot, blocked. Then Tete can get to the area, charged down, and now Forest can counter. Igor Jesus out to Hudson-Odoi over the halfway line, trying to drill beyond Robinson, but Kenny Tete is there again to win that battle on the Fulham runs.
Winding up a bit, thankfully.
Now they're being urged forward, Fulham, by the home support who are starting to play their part. You just wondered though, Harry Wilson urged to shoot, he was absolutely miles out. Lovely knock by Raul Jimenez away on the left-hand side is Robinson. Robinson tearing forward, needs a good pull back for Kevin who misses it. Lukic with a low shot, just wide of the far post. And the referee has said goal kick. John Victor didn't get a touch. Lukic with a low rolled shot left-footed, goes behind and it's 0-0.
Well, Robinson's getting in again because Amari Hutchinson isn't tracking him back very well. Kevin miskicks it when it comes to him. I think Lukic should do better actually. It's a weak effort with his left foot. There's no conviction in it, no confidence in it. Actually comes off his shin. Not the easiest chance in the world. Yeah, it comes off his shin, calf. Kind of sums up the first half, that finish.
Well, he scored last midweek against Newcastle. In fact, both his goals this season have been in away matches at Newcastle. Sasa Lukic never really looked convincing. Running onto that pull back from Robinson. 0-0 in the 40th minute now. On Talk Sport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, whatever it is, they're here for it. Here is Murillo again for Nottingham Forest. And that Lukic chance, probably the best chance of the game so far. Feels like it. Here is Gibbs White between the lines for Nottingham Forest, and he's pushed the ball out to the left wing position. Callum Hudson-Odoi back in field to Gibbs White from 25 yards. He tried to nudge it square. Smith-Rowe is in the way. Fulham can try and counter. Raul Jimenez almost bundled to the ground on the edge of the centre circle, and he's lost the ball. Gibbs White with a sidewall pass. Hutchinson into the area with a curling shot. That's blocked by Robinson, who stuck with it.
Yeah, good defending ball over the winger, that is. Really well done. Concentrates. He was in trouble for a second.
Smith-Rowe. Good turn away from Milenkovic by Smith-Rowe. Silky stuff, but he has played it straight to Kevin and he's caught very late. Now what's the referee Anthony Taylor going to do here? Marco Silva not happy with the challenge by Milenkovic. I think he might get away with it.
I think Emile Smith-Rowe must have heard me before, because since I said that, it's been outstanding. It's funny because you know what, when good players, what they do is when they realise they haven't had much of the ball and they haven't impacted the game, you tell yourself on the pitch, go and find it, go and make something happen, come on, game's passing me by. And it felt like he watched him say that to himself. He's everything about him is done with quickness, speed, intensity. It's much better.
Started to find his scoring boots of late as well. Williams going back towards his own goal for Nottingham Forest in the left back position, has hacked it away high, right footed. Bounces over the top of Igor Jesus, one back by Anderson. Very scrappy first half. Fulham 0, Nottingham Forest 0. The Fulham fans not happy around us as Anderson goes backwards to Leno. Not seen a meaningful shot on target in the game so far. But now Smith-Rowe gliding forward again. Finding Kenley's got the quick feet. Over the top towards Robinson to clip in the cross. Jimenez! And hitting it wide! Half of the ground, maybe all of the ground, thought that was in. Goalkeeper Statueski would have never got there. John Victor, but Raul Jimenez knocks it wide of the post.
Well, Robinson's causing them all sorts of problems. That's his best cross of the night. The only thing is that Jimenez's run, he's just come a bit too far past the near post, trying to get it back on target. Misses by a foot, near post, hits the side net, where we were looked in. It's a chance, best chance of the night.
Well, better for Fulham, certainly in the last 5-10 minutes or so, they have looked the more likely.
They have indeed. I'm amazed that down in front of Rashford, it was not encouraging Hutchinson to track Robinson one.
Well, Robinson suddenly is getting into the game, isn't it?
He's got in behind about 4 or 5 times. That's just the fact his best cross was that one.
He's still nil-nil. Somehow, Raul Jimenez oh so close for Fulham in the 43rd minute. Williams with the square ball, Eddie Anderson is about 25 yards out. Former Newcastle man plays a square ball to the Italian Savona, out to the right. Now here is Hutchinson with an in-swinging cross, a lovely ball, and it bounces up, and Leno clapping it and is able to deal with it and turn it behind.
Brilliant cross. Hutchinson right in the danger area. Pleading for someone to get on the end of it, but in the end it goes through to the keeper. He does well to get it away for a corner.
What an easy ball for the goalkeeper to defend, and it bounced up, spat up off the turf, right in front of Bergler, able to deflect it clear. Nottingham Forest corner away to our left at the Putney end of the ground. That's where the away supporters are, all on their feet. Corner to be taken by Douglas Luiz, right-footed and in-swinging into the near post. Punched away by Leno. Good height and distance on the punch. Back in by Nico Williams, headed away by Raul Jimenez for Fulham, and now Smith Rowe plucks the ball out of the air, gives it straight to Hudson-Odoi. There'll be 5 added minutes at the end of the first half, we're hearing. 90 seconds of normal time to go. Of course, we've had 2 quite long injury stoppages tonight. Both players were able to continue in the event. Douglas Luiz with a 1-2 with Hudson-Odoi. He's in the final third, now goes backwards to Murillo. Murillo angled ball to the left. It was quite predictable. Lukic slid in to knock it out of play before it could reach Hudson-Odoi. And it is the final Premier League game before Christmas. We have commentary of our final game before Christmas tomorrow night. Arsenal against Crystal Palace in the quarter-finals of the League Cup. Forest thought they worked it well down the left-hand side, but the assistant is saying, Danny Murphy, that's gone out of play.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I think they got away with that. Whole ball's going to be over. It certainly didn't look that way from here.
We are very close to where this is happening. The Fulham right-back position only a few feet away from us. Kenny Tete getting ready to take a throw. You are right, Danny, there are lots of good individual battles going on, even if the quality of the game itself is not brilliant. Some of these one-on-ones are fascinating to watch.
Even in front of us with, Hudson-Odoi and Tete and Robinson over that side with Amari Hutchinson, they're good battles. Even Lukic trying to keep hold of Gibbs White at times. Discipline, you've got to stay focused all the time. The one lapse of concentration here.
Here goes Hudson-Odoi racing down the left-hand side. He pulls it back low into the penalty area. Turned away by Berger. Confirmation of it. 5 added minutes at the end of the first half on TalkSport. Fulham nil, Nottingham Forest nil, and Murillo is clumsily bundled over Wilson. That's a free kick.
Good from Wilson. Sees him coming, gets his body in. Can I just say that it was a great example, and obviously we can't listen there and we can't see it because we're on radio, but Sander Berg, when the ball's gone wide, he's a central midfielder. All he's done is he's sprinted back into the box to get in the space where he thinks the ball's going to be. Brilliant central midfield play that goes unnoticed unless you've been in that position and you know you've got to get in there. Because he's not there, it goes to somebody who's coming in the box from a Forest perspective and has a free shot on goal. They're the bits that you should be doing, but don't really get the plaudits they deserve. That was a wonderful recovery run for him to get in there, help his defence out.
Danny Murphy with us tonight. Sander Berger, a very determined performer in the middle of midfield, a very reliable performer for Fulham over a couple of seasons now. Here is Quoker, standing in the left-sided centre-half position. Smith Rowe goes back to goalkeeper Leno. We've had a minute and 5 minutes at the end of the first half, and now Smith Rowe, little touch by Raul Jimenez while he was on the ground to poke it forward, has knocked it wide left to Kevin. Kevin running at the defender Savona, left-handed to the penalty area. Lovely feed by Kevin. It's a brilliant weaving run. He's still good, and he goes down under the tree, and the referee is going to say penalty. It is a foul by Douglas Luiz, and a penalty for Fulham in first half stoppage time.
He's convinced it's not, isn't he? Brilliant feed by Kevin. He's drifted out of the game, hasn't he, in the last 15, 20 minutes. Started really brightly, but let's just watch it back now. Here, great speed. Fair. Oh, yeah, catches a penalty, isn't it? Oh, he's doing it. He's actually on the ground as he kicked, yeah, it's a penalty, 100%.
Kevin's almost gone to ground, or is going to ground, after the initial challenge where he gets the ball, and then he just acts on his left foot.
Well, I think he thinks he's going to get the ball quicker than Kevin, and because he's back, because he's on the ground, Douglas Louise, as he swiped, it's like a slow motion swipe. It's bright time for Kevin. He's done some good bits this first half. Going to be interesting to see if he takes it when Harry Wilson, who's scoring a lot of the moment, Jimenez, though, confidence.
Well, Raul Jimenez has got the ball.
I know, but we sometimes see them hold it for somebody else.
Well, Wilson, he's loitering outside the edge of the box at the moment, isn't he, Danny? Is he saying, right, I'll leave this to you, Raul Jimenez?
I mean, seniority, I mean, Jimenez striker. I quite like the fact he's saying, I want this, I want to get scoring again. I do like that if he does take it about him.
Well, the referee at the moment is speaking to both Milenkovic, Joachim Andersen and Gibbs White, so he's got the two captains at the moment, and I think he's explaining that VAR is just checking it, but I don't really know what there is to check.
There's not any penalty.
Well,
unless it's broken.
Does this really help the game? Do we really need this sort of level of intervention? There we are, finally it's over after a needless 30-40 seconds.
How can you not?
We can see that from here.
Anyway.
There will be a penalty, and it will be Raul Jimenez, who scored the winner here at Craven Cottage against Sunderland. That was his last goal on the 22nd of November, up against John Victor, the big goalkeeper, 6'5". He's a very tall, domineering presence in the goal, John Victor.
Yeah, it can be a bit daunting when the keeper's massive, but you have to stay focused on doing what you normally do. The goal's not moving, forget what the keeper does.
Hammersmith in, penalty for Fulham. Into the 5th of 5 added minutes at the end, and a yellow card for the goalkeeper, who kept Raul Jimenez waiting. The Mexican with his hands on his hips, number 7 on the back of his white shirt, is going to step up here and try and put Fulham into the lead. It's a very straight run-up, which eventually he curves slightly, stutters once, twice, and then right-footed, tucks it away! Waiting for the goalkeeper to get it. Victor went left, Raul Jimenez went right. Fulham heading for a happy Christmas. Fulham 1, Nottingham Forest 0.
He's actually been terrific first half, Jimenez. His attitude, his touch has been good, he's put himself about. Yeah, he hasn't had the joy in the box, but he hasn't put a shift in for his team, and he deserves that goal. Silly mistake from Douglas Louise. Nice, and I don't like this type of stuttering and stopping on a town, but he took it away, so all good.
Well, you do wonder, don't you, when you see a runner stuttered 1, 2, 3 times, and he's still waiting for the goalkeeper. And Danny, we've seen that go wrong at major tournaments before, and not that time.
I don't like it, but there's no point whinging about it when someone scores. You just get on. He's an experienced guy, and he can't do the world of good. As I say, his output and his attitude in this first half has been exceptional. You know, he's tracking back, he's closing people down, he's trying his best to just impact this game, and now he's got some reward for it.
1-0 to Fulham it is.
And the great thing about the game, of course, is that now Forest got to come out and take some risks.
Yeah. And they've been a bit risk averse.
Yeah, it's been a bit passive, Forest. They've been a bit nothing.
We have seen Fulham start to step it up, haven't we, in the last 10, 15, 20 minutes or so. They put it back again with Kevin. Added time in the first half. Kevin goes to Robinson with the pull back from the left edge of the penalty area. Blocked off by Ian Anderson. Nottingham Forest have it now with Hutchinson and Forest in there. Dark blue away kit. Should be able to clear here. It's smashed upfield by Savona. Long towards Igor Jesus. Joachim Anderson in the way. And the ball is dropped in for Cuenca, who goes all the way back to Bernard Leno. We're on added time. And we are, 6.5 minutes through added time in the first half now. Raul Jimenez goes twice for a high ball upfield, and it's out of play for a Forest throw. Raul Jimenez was just in front of Nico Williams, who tried to take the throw, and now he's booked the ball.
Why is he booking it for that?
Well, I guess the referee will say it's delaying the restart, but let's see the bit.
Well, he could have thrown it over his head, and even if he didn't throw it, it hits him in the face. I mean, come on.
Needless bookings 101.
Right. Come on, stay positive, Daniel.
Danny Murphy's with us. We've got another half to go. And you're going to do half time now. Fulham 1, Nottingham Forest 0. In a first half of very few chances, really. It was a very scrappy first half in large part, but Fulham, to their credit, did improve in the latter portion of it. Sasalukic with an effort wide. Ralph Jimenez with a header that came so close to breaking the deadlock, but eventually he did just that. A clumsy foul by Douglas Luiz on Kevin, and Ralph Jimenez with a scuppered run-up was able to deceive John Victor and put Fulham a goal to the good. Nothing really from Forest on the attack in the game so far, and they trail at the break. Fulham 1, Nottingham Forest 0.
Yeah, I actually think you've been a bit harsh on him. I quite enjoyed it. And from the first minute when Kevin went flashing down the left and 5-1 across the goal, it didn't live up to that, I'll give you that. But there was an intent there. And I think what's really slowed the game down is a couple of really lengthy injury stoppages. I think when you analyse the game though, Danny, there has been individual moments, not enough of them, and not enough team quality. We've got two teams trying to stop the other team. So, there's a defensive element we need to praise as well here.
It's a great point, actually. I was actually chatting to someone before the game about, ironically, when we do the job we do, not appreciating the defensive work, And there has been some really disciplined defending. I did sometimes only one example with Sander Berger, but overall, I think Fulham have tried to be more offensive than Forest. And you could say, well, they should be, they're at home. But Forest aren't in the best position in the table. And it's like they don't want to lose rather than, because we talked about it before, we expect them to, no, this is a game we can go and win. But they haven't played that way. They haven't played like a team who really believe they can go and beat Fulham. It's a bit like, we'll see how it goes. But now they're going to have to really change their tact a little bit.
Well, they are. Hudson-Odoi early on, showed a bit of intent, but they didn't keep it up, and I'm surprised at Forest. Actually, bear in mind the fixtures that we went to. They've got coming up a tough and a couple of relegation clashes in there as well. I've been surprised by them first half. But Kevin is played, we talked about him before the game. I think that he's been a threat down that left-hand side. He's clearly enjoying linking up with Robinson, who's back fit and back in the team.
He's a young player who looks to have lots of ability and talent and speed, who's going to get things wrong sometimes. And he's just got to keep his belief up, let the manager, the coaches and other players just keep encouraging him to make mistakes. Because he will occasionally run out of play, or get tackled, or plays run over, or whatever. But when he keeps going at the fullback, it's a nightmare for him. Because he's so quick, he's getting himself in really good positions, and then goals will come, or chances will come. But the left side's been a problem for us. I touched on it in the comments. You're right in front of Sean Dyche's eyes. You can see Robinson keeps getting in, crossing the ball. Stop it. You're a coach. Stop it happening. How are you going to stop it? Either tell the right back to take it and leave Kevin to go in on the centre half, or tell your winger to track it. Don't keep letting the fullback cross the ball.
Kevin's won the penalty. In the dressing room for Forest right now, is Sean Dyche having a right go at Douglas Luiz or not?
I would. Because he's experienced. So what are you thinking? There's a real lack of understanding of the importance of the situation you're in for you to be kicking out while you're lying on the floor.
The first half injury time.
Just bizarre.
And they're going backwards as well.
He might say, oh, I was desperately trying to clear out. I thought, no. You're lying on the floor in a really bad position. Get on your feet, my friend. I'd hammer him in front of the, if I was a man, I'd be hammering him in front of the lads, yeah, kick him right off, and then maybe a few others will rise themselves up. But to be honest, the goal has kind of probably exaggerated my opinion of Forest's lethargy. But he could do worse than make a couple of changes, really. Because his bench is good. Yeah. He's got good quality on there. Keep a couple on the backside, so I'll give a new coming on, Bob. Well, how do you go? Change it. But we'll see. I can't see them being that poor from a creative point of view again.
And on the penalty, I'm with you. I don't like stuttery penalties. And he stuttered a couple of times. He stopped seemingly a couple of times. But he put in there. I don't think he's missed a penalty for 5.5 years now, so we just got to trust him, haven't you? Really?
Yeah, I don't like it from an aesthetic point of view. In terms of the outcome, he suits him and he seems to get the desired outcome. So no problem, but I think there's so much can go wrong with it. I don't like it. He is an experienced guy, though. he couldn't have done much more, really, in the first half, in terms of every other part of his game. Fighting for the cause, holding it up reasonably well, chasing down lost ball. I mean, he's trying his best.
Yeah.
He just needs a bit of help, up there, because he can't do it all on his own.
Well, Fulham are 1-0 up at half-time live on TalkSport. Listen, you wouldn't give it a 9 out of 10. It's not the 4-4 from last Monday. It's not the 5-4 to City here at Craven Cottage a couple of weeks ago live on TalkSport. But there is a second half to come. And Forest needs to come out and do something. Otherwise, their league position is not going to be improving whatsoever. Fulham 1, Nottingham Forest 0, live on TalkSport at half-time. It's half-time now as well. TalkSport's Ian Abrams.
What a shock we have here. Egypt nils, Zimbabwe 1 in Agadir. The second most ranked team in the tournament. That's just above Botswana. Zimbabwe lead through a goal scored on 20 minutes scored by Prince Dube. One touch before firing into the corner of the net from about 12 yards out. Mo Salah started well in the first 10 minutes, crossing for Trezeguet to head a shot with a head effort and saved on the line. He also crossed for Ashkor to have a volley just wide, then faded really for about half an hour wide. He shot himself at the end of the block. Marmoush with a 25-yarder tipped over, about as good as it got for Egypt, who have to improve. Otherwise, it could be one of the biggest shocks the tournament's ever seen. Egypt 0, Zimbabwe 1.
Keep you updated with that. Don't forget the live darts apparently on TalkSport 2 right now. Just download the TalkSport app and you can swipe between all of the stations that we bring you, whether it's TalkSport, TalkSport 2, Talk Radio, Times Radio, Virgin. If you want some music, you can get those on the TalkSport app. Here in the Premier League, Fulham lead Forest 1-0 on TalkSport.
Kick-off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Hi, just think of what now. Sorry it's a bit loud. Basically, so I was thinking of Mackey's tonight. Had a Big Mac on my mind all day, and delivery fee on the app is now from 99p. So, you in? Good luck. Okay, bye.
It's free to be on the McDonald's app. 18+, service fees, no order fee, no cost. Participating restaurants, serving times and T's apply.
The buffet of sport is open this Boxing Day weekend at Betfair. From football and the NFL to the King George Chase and the World Darts Championship, it's a feast of festive fixtures. And with money back as a free bet if you're multi-losers across any sport, the action just got sweeter. Fancy a bite? Betfair.
Opt in and place a £2, £50 multi-bet. Minimum 3 legs at 1.5 odds pays up to 9 AM on the 22nd of December 2025. T's and C's apply. 18+ gambleaware.org.
As you can hear from my voice, I'm in a state of high exhilaration. Yes, I'm positively beside myself. The reason that I can barely contain my enthusiasm is the IKEA winter sale. 4 weeks of incredible bargains. The inexpressible thrill of finding precisely the right thing at the right price. Sale now on IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Samara Farah is learning the ropes.
So, Mo, with Click and Collect, we get orders ready fast. So customers are out of here and back to their jobs in as little as 1 minute. What are you doing?
Taking lunches. It's my warm-up. I need to be in peak condition for when orders come in.
Love that intensity, Mo. Laser focused. You might even have what it takes to beat my PB one day.
Back in a moment.
Click and Collect in as little as 1 minute. No stopping you.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mrs. World. The kids building a trees playing on the lawn. But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. There's only time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024. It's under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Don't miss any of the toast and tips, top flight action as the biggest names in darts, jockey and jockey for world domination. The PDC World Darts Championship on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. With Village Hotels, get live commentary throughout the entire tournament on TalkSport 2. Plus, full, unrivaled coverage of the final from Ali Pally on TalkSport. The PDC World Darts Championship live on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. With Village Hotels, dine out, stay, work out, play. Games are stacking up as we head towards Christmas. So give yourself a present with the Sun's free pull-out goals. With expert opinion and tactical analysis, you get it all with goals. Kick off live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream over 50 live Premier League games flexibly with now. Like Fulham versus Nottingham Forest, live today. Flex Now Sports, 18 plus through our internet terms apply. Stamina, celebrity, light speed, weeknight football. Kick off live on TalkSport.
And here at Craven Cottage, a twin follows gun-inspired t-shirts into the crowd. It come anywhere near us. How disappointing is that? But we might go and try and get in a little bit later on. Let's get a half-time on to the Ladbrokes.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Satisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus. Gamblerware.org.
And right now you hear Fulham to win at 4-9. The draw is 29-10. Forest to come back and win it 7-1. Morgan gives White score any time. Odds 5-1. Now 13-2. That's the latest. Odds with Ladbrokes 18 plus. Gamblerware.org.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Satisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus. Gamblerware.org.
Well, let's get a bet on the darts at Ali Curry. Here's Chris Murphy.
Yeah, 2 matches down on the penultimate night before Christmas, and with 13 seeds out in the first 2 rounds, there was danger on the mind of the players. But Jan Van Veen and Nathan Aspinall are both safely through with decent performances. Aspinall with a 3-0 win against Renegade, so he never allowed to get into the match. And Van Veen actually could have been 2 sets down against Adam Suter, surviving a set down in the second before really blasting him off the board after that. He ended up averaging 108, that's the highest of the tournament by a distance. Luke Humphries is about to take to the stage now. A 71-year-old Poland. What a story that is. 5 years on from when Lynn beat Humphries when he was a youthful 66 years of age. Charlie Manby and Alan Savano will complete the evening, but Van Veen and Aspinall safely through. Live commentary on TalkSport 2.
Cheers, Chris. And second half to come here from Craven Cottage in the Premier League. Fulham 1 against Forest. And tomorrow's Carabao Cup quarter-final between Arsenal and Palace. Mikel Arteta has been discussing Gabriel Jesus pushing to start following his 11-month absence from injury.
A really intense journey, I would say. I think when he joined us, I think he lifted the belief, the spirit and the energy of the club and the team. I think he gave something very different to what we already had, and it was really impressive. And then he had some very bad injuries that hasn't allowed him to have the consistency that we need from a very important player. But he's back. I think his fighting spirit, his desire to always prepare the best way is unbelievable. And the team is going now, and we need to use it.
There you go, that's Mikel Arteta. Arsenal Palace, the final Carabao Cup quarter-final winner faces Chelsea. On TalkSport tomorrow, joining in the Emirates from 7, Duke Kirk and Scott Minto will be on commentary duty. Players due to come out very shortly. I just want to say this about Emile Smith-Rowe. 5 years ago, this week, or rather this month, Mikel Arteta's time at Arsenal was coming to an end. The Gunners were rubbish. They lost 4 successive Premier League games at home to Leicester, Villa, Wolves and Burnley. Then held at home by Southampton, lost the North London derby, beaten at Everton, and heading into Christmas, lost at home to Man City in the League Cup badly. Arsenal were 15th in the table, and Arteta's solution was to put Emile Smith-Rowe in the starting lineup, and they started winning, and they carried on winning, and here we are now. But Emile Smith-Rowe is at Fulham, and I think that Danny Murphy, sometimes you mentioned him a couple of times, there's little flashes there, but I feel like he plays within himself. He's capable of so much more, Emile Smith-Rowe.
Yeah, I think he, in that position, he would sometimes find it hard to impact games for long periods. He'll have little blitzes, little spells, little moments of quality. I think one of his problems since he's been here really is not being a mainstay of the team and feeling that confidence of the manager. He didn't start the season, as you know, and he's taken off a lot in games, and I think his confidence has been knocked a little bit, but it's like that first half, he must have decided, you know what, I'm sick of being on the periphery of this, I'm going to go and get hold of it.
Well, he heard you.
Yeah, well, I hope so. And he's got such good vision, good touch, he can get you the goal. I think if Marco Silva believes in him and gives him the time to just, regain his confidence and fitness so he can contribute more big moments more often in the game, he could be a huge player for Fulham.
Well, waiting to kick off still waiting because Sean Dyche, a couple of his staff, Steve Stoney, flanking him, marching across the pitch from that tunnel in the corner to their dugout.
Three baldies together, look at that.
Yeah, but he was barking, he was angry as he was coming out that tunnel, Sean Dyche. He was not happy at all. And he's stomping over there. And I think the players might have had a bit of a rocket at half-time. Let's see what happens second half. It's Fulham 1, Forest 0. It's live on TalkSport. Here's Danny Murphy and Joe Shannon.
Yeah, the body language tells you everything. Sean Dyche determined, that look on his face as the second half begins. Nottingham Forest from left to right in their dark blue away with orange trim, and Fulham from right to left towards the partly end in the second half, which is where the away supporters are. Fulham all in white. So Raul Jimenez on the ball now. His penalty, they lead by a goal to nil on TalkSport. And quickly on the attack, early in the second half, Fulham. Kevin with the bright yellow boots on, back to Berger now. Berger slows the game down and he's got Cuenca about 10 yards further back. Cuenca in possession, and Fulham have it leading by a goal to nil. Their goalkeeper is Leno with Tete, Anderson, Cuenca and Robinson at the back. Berger still on the ball now.
Too safe, too often, Sander Berger. He's got lots of quality, but he's so sideways and back. He doesn't believe in himself, you know. Can't bear watching midfielders who've got more talent do that. Twice he had the opportunity to play really progressive, simple balls forward, back to the centre half. Then Forrest dropped in and get themselves stable again. Honestly,
has he been told to do it?
No, it's just you're either that level or that level, and he's got to get to the next level by having more belief in himself, taking the risk. If you lose the ball, you lose the ball.
Well, it is Berger and Lukic, the two holding for Fulham. Wilson, Smith Rowe and Kevin in support of Raul Jimenez up front. And for Nottingham Forest trailing 1-0. The goalkeeper is John Victor. So now the connection is Murillo. And out on the left-hand side in the left-back position, Nico Williams. As Forest go long, Williams high towards Igor Jesus, towering him away by Anderson for Fulham. Then Anderson having to retreat again because Igor Jesus has hustled and bustled his way into the penalty area, and the ball has looped over the top. Igor Jesus tried to chip Leno while sandwiched in between the two Fulham centre-halves, and it's harmlessly over the bar for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a nothing ball from Gibbs White, just a hook on. He does well, Jesus. That was well. He really gets something on it. Little warning sign there. Fulham wake up, two centre-halves.
Well, they've not had a meaningful shot on target, have they, Danny? Nottingham Forest in the game so far, so it really can only get better from an attacking perspective for them. Douglas Luiz and Elliot Anderson with the two in the holding roles, with Hutchinson, Gibbs White and Hudson-Odoi in support of Igor Jesus up front. I'll give you both benches as well for Fulham, who still have the ball leading 1-0. Lecompte, Castagna, Reed, Kearney, King, Diop, Kusiasare, Traore and Richard. Tete hoists a long ball downfield. That takes a deflection, goes out to play for a Fulham throw. The Forest bench is Morato, Sells, Dominguez, McAtee, Calimuendo, Awadi, Zinchenko, Bakwa and Abbott. Fulham again deep inside their own half with possession. Kenny Tete, the right back, will scoop it high and long. The floodlights are on, of course, and it's a relatively chilly night on the banks of the Thames, but not as cold as you might expect for this time of year. Forest go up the left-hand side this time. Hudson-Odoi jigging in field, plays it back to Simone. Nottingham Forest has got to be better with the attacking talent they have. They surely are going to create more in this second half. Trailing 1-0 on TalkSport. And here's Danny.
Yeah, well, it'll be impossible for them not to have more intent. You can tell already there's a bit more zip in their press when they went after Fulham there.
Hudson-Odoi out to the left and Cuff can do it on to his right, playing it back to Nico Williams with a low shot that is straight at Leno, not handled by the goalkeeper, had some zip on it back, and Nottingham Forest have finally had their first ever on time.
Well, it's the first time we've seen Williams get himself into these forward positions, which we know he's so good at. Loses Harry Wilson, switches up for a minute, and it's a dangerous shot, zipping across the wet turf. Keeper did well to hold it, Leno.
Certainly did. Fulham then give it away. Hutchinson has got it back and immediately trying to dart forward on the counter-attack for Nottingham Forest. Gets the return ball from Anderson down the Forest right, near side, attacking the Hammersmith end, then swinging cross, header away by Joachim Anderson at Fulham. It's brought back to Hutchinson though, right corner of the area, left footed in, swinging ball, and the overhead kick is just wide, but flag is up anyway. against Morgan Gibbs White. It was a spectacular effort, would have been a wonderful finish, but ironically, even if it had gone in, it wouldn't have counted.
No, it all started, I mean, Kevin gives the balls up, tries a little dummy, but gives the ball away. But it actually started from, again, Fulham messing around. Goenka, no confidence on the ball, gives it away with a really poor pass. And then they put themselves in trouble. It's early in the second half, you 1-0 up, don't put your luck. Doing it again now. You've got your centre half taking on wingers now.
Short passes out of defence for Fulham. Maybe a slightly more direct approach might be the right idea. Fulham have it on the near side, just in front of us. A bit safe again by Bergedal.
Yeah, it's...
And Smith Rowe straight out of play. Underlines what you just said.
I think it's amazing sometimes to see players' decisions. When Forrest have got a high line, you're a midfield player or defender and you're winning 1-0 to early second half, just conceded a couple of chances. Play some balls in behind, get some runners. It's basic stuff, I mean, really basic.
Fulham unable to win the ball back from midway inside their own half. But Nottingham Forest, who dominated possession in the second half so far, have it back 6 minutes into the second period, 1-0 to Fulham. But here is Hudson-Odoi, just teared away down the left-hand side, goes on the outside of Tete, low ball in, is deflected behind for a corner.
One of the first times he's tried to go around the outside of Tete, because he knows it's not as quick as him, so he hasn't tried to do it. But even though he kept up with him, he's given the corner away, so better from Hudson-Odoi, not so predictable.
It's good old-fashioned direct attacking play. Knows this part of London well, Hudson-Odoi from his days at Chelsea. Corner to Nottingham Forest. Douglas Luiz is right-footed in, swinging into the net post, really poor. Headed away by the first man, Sasa Lukic. This is Talk Sport, your home of festive football. More than 59 games in the month of December. Headed away by Cuenca for Fulham. It's dropped out to the Forest left. They're still on the attack. Douglas Luiz with a cross. Headed away by Cuenca again. He's done well tonight in the air, certainly. And he swept the ball high up to the halfway line and away from danger for now.
Much better than Forest.
Back on the ball again, Douglas Luiz with the in-swinging cross, and it's gathered by Leno. I think they really have had words, Sean Dyche and his assistants at half-time. Now Fulham counter. Kevin on the halfway line has given it straight to Savona, who can't sort his feet out, but the offside flag is up against Robinson. He went down, trying to buy a free kick from the referee, but wasn't a convincing tumble to the floor, and he was offside anyway.
He's been offside 3 or 4 times, Robinson. He's got to look down. He's coming from deep. He should never be offside. Just too eager to get there. There was a foul on him, actually. Quite naughty one.
Plus. Savona just catches it. Right foot onto the lower left leg. Nottingham Forest blasts the ball high downfield. It's only half away by Cuenca retreating. Hutchinson with a clever chip out to the left. Hudson-Odoi's in space, isolated Tete in a one-on-one. Hudson-Odoi infield onto the right foot with a low shot, and that's turned away by Jurgen Anderson. The way that it's going, Forest are surely certain to create more chances and maybe to find themselves an equaliser live on Talk Sport.
Well, in the last one, and what they did is they won and battled for the seconds and then got the attack from there. And then Fulham haven't been willing to do yet early in the second half, which they should do.
We have more live football for you tomorrow night. Arsenal against Crystal Palace in the League Cup, and then a piece of football coming up on the network on Boxing Day. Plenty of NFL, and also the only Premier League match on Boxing Day, live exclusive with us. It's Manchester United against Newcastle from 8 o'clock. Our championship commentaries on Boxing Day. Birmingham against Derby, Millwall against Ipswich, Coventry against Swansea, and Wrexham against Sheffield United. Plus, game day live around the grounds on Saturday at 3 o'clock here on Talk Sport. Fulham win the ball back, and the referee plays a good advantage with Smith Rowe down. Raul Jimenez with Harry Wilson up the inside right. Well blocked off by Nico Williams. 1-0 to Fulham, but the game was a bit stretched all of a sudden, and Forest are looking more of a threat than
They are. Fulham can't really keep possession very well. Don't need to go and score right now. They need to get some passes together and just get up the pitch and just calmly get themselves back in this game. Turnover of possession is too quick for them at the moment.
Whatever happens tonight, you can have your say on 03717 204. Sports Bar will open for business once we're done with Jerry O'Hara, Jason Cundy. The ball is back with Joachim Anderson. Hoists a high ball downfield up to the halfway line. Header away by Murillo for Nottingham Forest. Forest have it back right in front of the two dugouts. Sean Dyche and Marco Silva both on the edge of their technical areas. Fulham have it again with Leno, and now can they try and keep the ball for a sustained period of time? It's been a very disjointed first 10 minutes of the second half for the home team. Baker has carried the ball forward and found Smith Rowe.
He did well there, Smith Rowe, for Cuenca. He just got him out of trouble. He stretched and got it better from Fulham. Positive pass forward.
And they do slow it down a little. Sends it back to Cuenca. Inside the centre circle now. Shots over halfway. 10 yards ball to Kevin. And then just the sloppiness in the pass, Danny. He's not giving it away, but just not sharp enough on the ball at the moment.
Yeah, they've not come out with the same zip as they finished the first half with.
Yes, absolutely did finish the first half well. Former Fulham midfielder Danny Murphy with us tonight on Talk Sport. They lead Nottingham Forest 1-0 on Talk Sport with Sky Sports. Don't forget that with now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Fulham against Nottingham Forest. Live right now, search Sky Sports. Well one back by Raul Jimenez, and then Smith Rowe blocked off by Murillo. The loose ball deflects against White, trying to race up the middle. Cuenca caught him. In fact, Berger it was, and Berger's going to be yellow carded for that foul.
Yeah, there's a couple of lucky ricochets that went Forest way there. Gibbs White in on the back four. Sanderberg decided to, well, it's hardly a ball, but you know, yellow card, good yellow, as they say.
The right area and the right time to do it.
Absolutely.
Sanderberg with a little tuck back, that was enough to send Gibbs White to ground. Now this free kick is a long way out. We saw Douglas Luiz shoot from range in the first half, got it horribly wrong. He's surely not going to shoot from here, Dan. It's about 40, 45 yards.
No, he won't. He'll be looking for one of the big guys left or right. The centre halves will split, one on the left-hand side, Milenko.
Milenkovic and Murillo.
Milenkovic, sorry, yeah.
Out to the left, Murillo on the right corner of the penalty area. The free kick is dead centre. As far as seek an equaliser, it's taken short and square to Elliot Anderson. Anderson's with the angled pass. Out to the right, over here. No way Hutchinson was going to get there. Lack of quality again from Nottingham Forest as Sean Dyche turns back towards his bench. Shaking his head, Sean Dyche. And will they see fit to look to the bench in a few moments? I still think he's got that scrappy field again as he did for much of the first half. Not a lot of quality in the game.
I thought the latter part of the first half, Fulham did well, actually played some decent stuff, but this start of the second half has been nervous from Fulham. A bit raggedy, and Forest, to be fair, I expected more. They started right for the first 5 minutes, but now just fallen back into what it was.
Been able to take the crowd with them in the game, Fulham. Forest, as you say, unable to take advantage as Robinson with a little chest back to his goalkeeper. It was a hopeful crossfield ball arcing from left to right by Douglas Luiz, and it bounced through to Robinson after a Silver conversation with the fourth official, not happy about something. No sign of any imminent changes at the moment. Marco Silva's turn to shake his head as Fulham give the ball away.
Robinson's distribution has been really poor this season. That's 3 in the second half already. He looks so low on confidence when he's got the ball, which is a far cry from the player we saw last season. He was so positive and good going forward with the ball. I know he's been out of the team a while, so yeah, give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's causing Fulham a few problems when he's giving the ball away in his own half too often.
He was being linked with Liverpool at one point, wasn't he, Anthony Robinson, for a while? Here is Douglas Luiz, centre circle for Nottingham Forest, out to Anderson, and now the near side of the field, hugging the touchline is Savona. Close to our commentary position here, we're only 10 or 12 rows or so from the edge of the pitch. Chipped in by Hutchinson, deep to the back post, headed down towards Eagle Jesus, and he can't get there. Beaten to it by Tete, who I think has had an excellent game at right back for Fulham.
Very ready doesn't that guy. Super quick, super strong, calm, good on the ball.
Another well-timed challenge from and Kenny Tete, and then Forest go long, looking for Gibbs White. Again out to play, you could imagine Forest making changes shortly. They trail by a goal to nil. And now gone here at Craven Cottage, and let's get news of another goal at the African Cup of Nations with TalkSport's Ian Abrahams.
Egypt 1, Zimbabwe 1. Egypt equalised through Manchester City. Omar Mamouche picked up the ball left outside, drove into the penalty area, and from a very tight angle has thrashed the ball into the roof of the net. Mamouche scores, Egypt 1, Zimbabwe 1.
That's Ian, and talking of Manchester City, will have commentary of their next game, which is away at Nottingham Forest on the 27th of December. That will be on exclusive on TalkSport. It was a ball forward by Cuenca looking for Raul Jimenez. It's just
the problem they've got at the moment is there's no runners. And to play long balls in behind and get up the pitch, you need runners, but nobody's running in behind, they're all coming to feet. And that's something you should be working on and talking about. It can't be Jimenez, it's got to be maybe the wide boys, Wilson or Kevin, just 3 or 4 runs and you can hit some diagonals, just turn them around and get off the pitch. But at the moment they're playing into Forest hands.
Well, the second half is passing Fulham by a bit, isn't it? But they do the 1-0.
Yeah.
So Marco Silva ultimately will be the happier, but quite active on the top side at the moment. Both managers, neither manager looks happy with what he is seeing. Forest 1-0 down. In core on the attack, Nottingham Forest. Savona, tall and slender the right back. Forward to Gibbs White. Gibbs White with the square ball to the near side and Hutchinson. Hutchinson to Anderson and Gibbs White again in the wing position. Back in field to Douglas Luiz. This is a slightly better passage of play. Marilla with a long-range shot, and Leno nearly spills it, but manages to gather into his chest at the second attempt. And when I say long-range, that was a very long way out from Marilla. Given away by Tete, you can hear the groans around it, saying that, but yeah, because he's trying to play precise. Now Gibbs White with a low shot, and that's driven wide a goal. Long-range Nottingham Forest at the moment, ball inviting them onto them. But it still stays 1-0 to the home team.
Yeah, two ambitious efforts from Forest, but Fulham are creating their own problems. They're getting the ball out from they're getting the ball in the back, and they're going forward, trying to play the ball forward, but everyone's coming to feet, so it's easy to defend. No space for them to play, so they've got to go a bit longer, but you need runners. I think if you think of a couple of changes to Marco Silva. That guy's kind of looks a bit.
Yeah, there seems to be some sort of activity on the Forest bench in particular. Keep an eye on that. Forest get a free kick.
I mean, if you want to go down to Forest, I'd go 2 strikers and try and get some crosses in and get some play in the block play.
Good work by Hutchinson and a low ball into the penalty area. Eagle Jesus is there. Could turn the ball goalwards, and the referee has actually spotted a foul inside the penalty area. And Tete is being helped to his feet anyway. I think he did his job well defensively, Kenny Tete.
Great bit of skill from Murray Hutchinson in off that right-hand side. Puts a really vicious, quick ball across the ball. Oh yeah, he's a foul, you're right actually. I think he pulls to Jesus and his touch isn't just good enough. Takes it right into Tete and then there's a little collision. Not sure that's a foul to be honest. Good for Hutchinson though.
Yeah. Well, he showed his talent, didn't he, when he was at Ipswich? And helped them get promoted to the Championship. Had a good youth career in the academies of Arsenal and Chelsea. But then he's got a final warning from the referee not to time waste any longer. 63 minutes gone. Leno all in red smashes the ball high upfield. Craven Cottage, which is Bolton eyed all of its character on the banks of the Thames. Headed away by Anderson on halfway for Fulham. Anderson then wins it back strident in the face of the challenge of Douglas Luiz. Anderson has actually put the ball out of play, but the assistant, after initially giving the throw, I thought to Fulham, to Forest rather, has turned around and given it to Fulham. And Sean Dyche, hands to his head, now arms outstretched, he can't believe it now.
Well, whether it's right or wrong, it's just a throw and you've got to crack on with it. They need to do better. Need to take more risk, push men forward, more press higher. Splat from Forest.
Tom Kearney getting stripped and ready to come on for Fulham, who are all in white as ever tonight. The ball is played back for goalkeeper John Victor of Nottingham Forest. I think that's the first time we've mentioned him in the second half, one of the first touches of the ball that he's had. And somehow, Forest are 1-0 down. Forward comes Douglas Luiz, right to the middle of Nottingham Forest. It's a good run beyond 2-3, and then he is tripped, is he? No foul by Tete. Fulham will counter-attack. And they don't. They go backwards. Smith Rowe back to Robinson as the former Fulham player. Daddy Mel, you're watching this with a bit of frustration.
Well, I am because he was in, but I think from Emil Smith Rowe's perspective, he probably just thought, let's keep the ball for a while. It's a balancing act always when you're under a bit of pressure.
Sander Berger's going to come off for Tom Kerr. That would be like for like in midfield, and of course, Berger is on a yellow card.
Well, you could argue it's like for like. I mean, Sander Berger is probably a bit more athletic than Tom Kearney. I'd say Kearney's a much better footballer, passer and productive player in terms of creativity and making things happen. So it's actually a brave one, really, because I think what Tom Kearney gives you is more chance of being creative.
And here he comes, big year. He was going to leave the club in the summer. In fact, I was here for the last game of the season, Danny, where he said a lot of emotional goodbyes, but they gave him a new contract in the summer.
Money talks.
He's a key figure off the field as well as he, Tom Kearney, in and around the dressing room, a very likeable character. Fulham 1, Nottingham Forest 0, and we have made it to close to the final quarter of the game. Now it feels that a heck of a lot happening at all on the pitch in the second half.
Well, it feels like it's still 0-0. Forest aren't playing like it's 1-0 down. They have been a bit better, but no urgency really.
There's nothing in the game, nothing, really. The penalty aside, Douglas Luiz with that really clumsy challenge, and it is worth saying, Forest are only a place outside the bottom three. Yes, they may be 5 points clear, but they have a tough run of fixtures coming up. Savona away on the inside right, slipping, manages to hook in the cross, did really well there, Savona, and Leno is going to block it out of the air. Not sure how he did that. Athleticism, hook his foot round the ball.
Kevin looks tired now, he's trying to rush.
Yes, took that knock in the final. Nice play by Ralph here for Fulham. Kearney's first touch to Smith Rowe. Angles ball to the right hand side. Harry Wilson in field from the right for Fulham. Launches it back to Kearney. First time pass out to Tete. Fulham 1, Nottingham Forest 0. A very slender margin so far for Fulham. And Tete square to Kearney. Back to Smith Rowe again. Good elegant player, Smith Rowe. Obviously, we're talking at half-time about his chances at Arsenal, which ultimately faded away.
That's it. That's how easy football is. He's made a difference. Look at the time. He's had about 5 passes in the last 20 seconds.
And he then puts the ball in and it's headed away by Milinkovic. Lukic counting with Anderson and away by Gorilla this time. Straight to Kearney. There he is on the ball again.
Well, he played a lovely 30-yard pass. Took 2 players out of it, straight to Emil Smith Rowe's feet. 1 touch, 2 touch, that's all he's taking. Just play forward, play like a midfielder should.
So Lukic talks the ball, there you go. Smith Rowe to Lukic on the halfway line. He's going to nudge it out to the right-hand side. I think Sean Dyche has been listening to Danny because Taiwo Awonyi is ready to come on to Nottingham Forest, so that'll be 2 up top, potentially. Unless he doesn't want to change the shape, I guess, in which case...
Well, I would, because you've got nothing to lose. I'd put Gibbs on the left, bring Hudson and Doyle off, put 2 strikers on. Let Gibbs White coming off that left-hand side. He's done that before.
Fulham with it back on the halfway line. Lukic to Wilson. Lovely ball out to the left and Kevin. Kevin is the penalty area now. Onto the right foot, took 1 touch too many. And the Fulham fans on the feet in front of us are fuming with Kevin. He didn't go for goal left foot. He tried to cut back inside and the chance is gone.
Yeah. Disappointed. He desperately wants to get in on his right foot. It's good defending actually, but he should have gone on his left. He's hit 2 times, 1 in the second, 1 in the first. Doesn't trust himself to go up, snuck it out his feet, have a dig with your left foot. Well, somebody's got to work on.
It is going to be a 1-year for Jesus, so like for like. Not really see how Sean Dyche can change the shape in that situation.
No, he won't be.
Forest labouring. Nico Dominguez is going to replace Douglas Luiz as well, so there'll be a double change. For Nottingham Forest, who trail by the goal to 0. As well as the Boxing Day football, we are your home of live football between the 30th of December and the 1st of January too. The only place on national radio to hear all 10 Premier League fixtures is the TalkSport network. Douglas Luiz to Gibbs 1 on the halfway line, angle ball out to the right, here comes Hutchinson raining in field to the right corner of the penalty area, forgets to take the ball with him, and Robinson is there to work it off himself. It's a counter on the ball, clearly pushing the up to Raul Jimenez, back to Smith Rowe, and now Anderson's angle ball to Teta, followed from right to left in the second half. Lovely work by Tete, who scored late off the ball. That'll be a yellow card for Marilla.
Made a business game and straight away. Good play up from Tete as well.
Now, one of the contenders for man of the match so far, Tete, you think? Robinson controls on the halfway line. The Forest fans, the late one, they thought it was a handball by Anthony Robinson to bring it down. Kenny goes backwards. Forest set to make this double change. In fact, it'll be a triple change. Gibbs White is going to come off, and McAtee will replace him.
Yeah, he's not been his best Gibbs White. He took it out of the back before. He was looking around for 5 minutes. He's not taken off, probably.
So a triple change on the way for Nottingham Forest. As Fulham chip the ball over the top. Kearney looking down the left for Raul Jimenez, and the ball just trickles away. Play for a throw. Harmlessly. 19 minutes left. Well, it hasn't been the goal fest that many were hoping for. Certainly not yet anyway. Igor Jesus able to hold the play up. Fulham have it on the halfway line with Tom Kearney suddenly striding forward up the middle. Kearney is 30 yards from goal. Learns to shoot, and he does! And it's gone wide. It's a goal kick. Kearney thought it took a deflection.
Saved it. He saved it.
John Victor goes and gets the ball for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think he saved it. Well, Sean Dyche is up the second because he's got a mental every decision not going his way. He's got to focus more on his team doing better when they've got the ball, not thinking that he can get every little 50-50 going in his way. Do something different, get the players more up the pitch, to change the formation, do something.
Well, John Victor did get pretty tips to it, didn't he?
You could see from here when the ball changed in direction, but...
Forest making those changes now. Dominguez for Douglas Luiz. One for Igor Jesus, and we're expecting Gibbs White to go off, and indeed his number is up. Here comes the former Manchester City man, James McAtee, and Milenkovic is given the armband for the final 18 minutes plus added time. I'll give you the odds with Fulham 1, Nottingham Forest 0 the score. Ladbrokes have the latest odds right now. Fulham 1-3, the draw at 3-1, and a Forest win from behind at 12-1. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes 18 plus. GambleAware.org. James McAtee jogs on. He was one of the players signed in a blitz of summer signings, really, in the summer. But he's not managed to quite settle into a spot in this Nottingham Forest team, having been really impressive at the under-21 Euros in the summer.
Yeah, he's a real talent. Brave, gets on the board, did really well for Sheffield United when he went on there. I thought he was their best player that season.
Oh, and a powerful ball slips out of the hands of Williams. Oh, they just slid out of his hands. And, well, he's going to get the chance to take it again here, Williams. So it wasn't a foul throw, but the ball certainly slipped from his grasp. And the ball is then cleared away by Joachim Anderson out of play for a Nottingham Forest run. Williams is going to come forward and take it again. Needed to wipe it down on his shirt instead. Milenkovic in the centre circle. 03717 222 4 for the sports bar once we're done tonight. Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. It'll be a morale boosting win for Fulham this. It'll take them 10 points clear of the relegation zone if it stays like this. More reaction to tonight and build up to our live game tomorrow. Arsenal against Crystal Palace in the League Cup, which starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning on TalkSport Breakfast, our builder, Ali McCoist and Ray Palmer, talking you through all of those 4 hours of great radio on the breakfast show. Little trick by Raul Jimenez out to the left-hand side, and Robinson is close to the corner flag. Robinson with an infield ball, Raul Jimenez trying to hold it up, and he does brilliantly on the corner of the penalty area, tries to poke it into the path of Kevin, who then lunges in, firm but fair on Savona. That's got the Fulham fans excited, that challenge.
Yeah, fancies a lot of good challenge, don't they?
You see players punching the air when they're doing tackle these days, Danny. Here comes Nico Williams for Forest, right to the middle, off to the left and a Awonye down by the dead ball line, and he's offside.
Harry Wilson's hurt himself there going for that tackle. I think his knee got jarred or caught in the grass. Well, maybe collided with Nico Williams.
Fulham want to bring on Josh King shortly. I think it is Kevin who they are planning to take off, but they might have to make another change if Wilson is hurt. It is a new thing though, isn't it, Danny? Players gesturing to the crowd and going mad when they made a tackle. Did he always...
No. Yeah, I think there's nothing wrong, don't get me wrong, players getting engaged with supporters more and trying to get... But there's a time and a place for it, not after 12 minutes where they just tackled someone, given up a corner, and it's like, what? Don't know, things change, don't they?
Sort of bit in the Timely derby recently, maybe that's a bit...
In a derby near the end of the game, if you say, rash ditch tackle or something like that, fair enough. But it seems to be happening, getting a block from 30 yards, the edge of the box, you're on 5
minutes in.
Yeah, exactly.
Right then, Fulham with Wilson having gone to ground. Maybe there'll be more than one change here for Marco Silva's team.
I think he should change both the widemen. They've become less impactful in the game. They're doing their work, trying, but when you've got fresh legs, and players with the quality of King and Traore and
Traore is also going to take to the field. King is stripped and ready to go first, all in the white for Fulham. Wilson still being treated, and again, this is a concern. Their key man in front of goal, arguably, Harry Wilson, this season, helped to his feet, but in this Christmas period, you know what it's like as a player, Danny. Marco Silva will be concerned, and actually there's a yellow card. And who's he pointing at here? The referee. He's produced a yellow card, certainly.
not sure, I just thought it's got a waft of somebody's food and it smells delicious.
They are good here at Maybe it's one of the cottage pies.
Maybe, yeah, I like what you did there, yeah.
Well, no, they're a team. I know they are. You played it for however long. Right then. So after all that, it's Kevin going on, and here comes King. He's a good, talented young player.
Super talent, yeah. Very accomplished on the ball, no speed.
And they're going to wait, are they, for Adama Traore? Not yet. Harry Wilson's going to try and come back on. I thought that yellow card was directed at Wilson, which is waiting for confirmation as to who was booked.
I have to say, Lukic, although he's not really done that much creatively, that's an awful shifting without the ball. Been everywhere.
It was a booking for Wilson, I've just been told. Fulham 1, Forest 0. 12 minutes to go plus added time here on TalkSport. League Cup quarter-final football tomorrow for you. Arsenal against Crystal Palace, and then of course all the festive football on Boxing Day. Good ball in by McAtee, headed away though by Anderson for Fulham. It drops down to Elliot Anderson of Nottingham Forest, and he's wriggled away from the challenge of Kearney, but not beyond Smith Rowe, and then Lukic stabs the ball up into the air and clear. Fulham, the way that they play, will certainly take a 1-0. High over the top, Milenkovic, and Awonye is onside, angled tight in the area. Awonye opens the spin, it's got it back to goal, looks for Savona on the overlap, and Savona is blocked off by Robinson at the expense of a corner to Nottingham Forest.
Elliot Anderson struggling down here in front of us. He's been stuck there for a minute or two. I think it's only an impact whack though, which is a good thing if it is.
And it's ended up with a corner to Forest. And standing over it here is Amari Hutchinson. Hutchinson to fix it in left footed, punched away by Leno, and hammered further clear by Josh King, still a teenager, King of Fulham. All the way back to John Victor in the Nottingham Forest goal. In a very quiet game in terms of clear-cut chances. Alex Zinchenko is going to come on for Nottingham Forest shortly. And we're hearing that Savona is going to go off. It's Savona's ball upfield. And no foul on Milenkovic. As Fulham now look to break. Kelly over the halfway line. Well controlled by Raul Jimenez in the centre circle. He lays the ball out to the right. Wilson scampers back to keep it in play. Just about, and Fulham do well there to retain possession. Well, there is time for a Forest equaliser. 10 minutes plus stoppage time to go, but it's just felt that sort of disjointed game where we're maybe going to see one more chance. Yeah. Not many more than that anymore.
Well, I think the nose will kick in for Fulham. Conceded late here against Palace.
And Forest could be in. It's a slice clearance over the top of his own bar by Lukic.
Conceded late, obviously, in the Newcastle game last minute, wasn't it? Header.
Yeah.
Set plays like this coming up late in games, been a problem for Fulham.
It is a concern. And after the heartbreak of losing a League Cup quarter-final on Wednesday, Lewis Miley with the injury time goal. There is concern here for Fulham as they look to protect a lead. Off goes Savona, and here comes Zinchenko as promised. Corner to Nottingham Forest, away on the far side, in front of the Hammersmith end, delivered short by Elliot Anderson to Hudson-Odoi, back up wide, Anderson fixes it in, right foot in, and it's over the top of Milenkovic, who went for it, left high. Oh, and Milenkovic didn't like the challenge on him by Cuenca, and they go head to head, and Milenkovic and Cuenca having to be separated here. Referee is going to get involved, I think, but still, players from both sides are piling in, and Anthony Taylor has to step in between everybody to try and get this sorted out, but Milenkovic and Cuenca not happy with each other.
It started with a wonderful cross-in from Elliot Anderson. And Milenkovic gets a nudge at the back post he's not happy with, and I don't know whether he goes into Cuenca or Cuenca runs into him, but something transpired to them to really have a little bit of a right go at each other. Not happy at all. Not know if there's any previous there, but they're both getting yellow by the looks of them. What's telling on?
Yeah. Well, from Anthony Taylor, and then a booking for Cuenca, and a yellow card to follow for the now Forest captain, Milenkovic as well.
You already had a yellow? No?
No, Murillo was booked earlier, but this is Milenkovic's first card of the game. Yellow card. And some of the Fulham fans are saying exits now.
Hussein had got a push in the back from Jimenez.
Is he right?
And Cuenca, a little nudge, but not to warrant the dive that he did. And obviously Cuenca's had a go at him for diving, making the most of it. That's what it was. He's accused him of diving and cheating, and he's not like the accusation. I think it's fair to say, yeah, Milenkovic did make the most of that. It's good defending from Jimenez, really good.
He's done his work well, hasn't he, Raul Jimenez? Not lots of feed off. Scored the penalty, worked hard at both ends of the field. And it will give Fulham a very important victory. Forest, I mean, they've improved greatly under Sean Dyche, but this must rank as one of the more disappointing performances so far. Headed away by Robinson for Fulham, and now Smith Rowe just inside his own half will roll it backwards to Anderson, who turns away for Wonyi. 7 minutes to go. Fulham lead by a goal to the Sports Bar on the way once we're done here on Talk Sports. King with a square pass to Tete, back to King, out on the Fulham right, very tight area, but they worked it back to Tete, who knocked it in and crosses. Oh, Raul Jimenez hits it wide. That would have been a magnificent goal to crown off the victory for Fulham. Raul Jimenez should have scored.
What play down the right-hand side between King, the little flick inside to Tete. Puts the cross right on Jimenez's head. A man of his quality in the air, he's got to be in the target there. He's tried to glance it to the far corner, and he's overdone it. Barry Wilson now coming off.
On comes Adama Traore. Jonah Kusi Asare is going to replace Raul Jimenez, Kusiasari, a Swede, 6'5", on loan from Bayern Munich, still a bit raw, only 18. Jimenez change as well.
Jimenez, what he could he could have killed the game there, more importantly. It's not about ego, it's about the team getting 3 points, and he'll be sitting in that dugout now praying they can hang on, because that was a glorious chance.
Smith roll off, and it's a Diop with a rare Premier League appearance. His fourth in the Premier League this season as Fulham, well, they're going to change shape surely here. Down he goes to a fine.
Yeah.
Immediately a header away by Anderson after Fulham have made that triple change. 5 minutes to go plus added time. Good header won by Kusiasari, nudging it down to the feet of King. He's pointing the way forward for Robinson's high ball up the left. Only half away. King is on to it through to Kusiasari. Ample time. Chips it back to King. In the area. Can he shoot? He can't. Couldn't sort his feet out. And Forrest scrambled the ball away. Fulham leading 1-0.
That makes sense what's going to happen.
Forrest counter. Are they going to get an equaliser? McAtee through the middle. And Waddy on the edge of the penalty area. Fulham get back and clear, and Waddy was offside anyway. I know what you're thinking, Danny Murphy. It's all set up, isn't it, for a Forest equaliser?
It is indeed. It's funny in football sometimes, and I'm going to share it because I want to be wrong.
Yeah.
You get a feeling in the goal, you just sense it's not going one team's way, they're missing chances and can't kill the game off, and then what happens? Lo and behold, you don't get punished the other end. It does feel like that at the moment.
Well, Fulham, certainly with the Raul Jimenez chance, a rare bit of impressive attacking quality in the game, could have wrapped it up. McAtee has controlled the ball beautifully. 10 yards into Fulham territory, trying to scamper away from Lukic. Lukic does well. So winning back again, and now Raul Jimenez, who's gone off. It's Robinson over the halfway line to King. King for Fulham. They lead it 1-0 on TalkSport Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it, book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Thing is, the reason you bring a third centre half in, it's not to go 3 at the back, it's to go 5. You don't want your wing-backs, your full-backs then becoming wingers, you want them to keep a back 5.
It is Anderson with a heavy touch for Nottingham Forest on the halfway line, and then King able to bring away from the challenge of Dominguez and playing backwards to Cuenca. Tense now, the atmosphere at Craven Cottage, a little bit livelier than earlier on. Backwards headed by Zinchenko, that'll trickle through to his goalkeeper. Another goal at AFCON, Ian Abrahams.
Into added on time, Egypt 2, Zimbabwe 1. Step forward, Mo Salah. He's had the quietest of quiet evenings. Ball flicked onto him around the penalty spot, and he finishes with his left foot. Salah scores at the end to win it for Egypt. Egypt 2, Zimbabwe 1.
Well, you could be good down the middle for Nottingham Forest. It was a long clearance by John Victor, but it takes him out and is through to Bernd Leno. Mo Salah, who we at TalkSport understand, is going to stay at Liverpool until at least the summer. And that in part because of the injury to Alexander Isak, which is expected to be a serious one. Fulham 1, Forest 0. Last 2 minutes plus added time to go. Back it goes to John Victor, the goalkeeper. He's going to clear it high and long. Drops onto the chest of Tete, who miscontrols. Zinchenko on the attack for Nottingham Forest. Back to Hudson-Odoi, they slow the game down. Zinchenko midfield to Hudson-Odoi again. Square pass to Dominguez, about 10 yards into Fulham territory. Away on the right, the near side is Nico Williams. Williams looks up and feeds Hutchinson. Back to the centre circle, Milenkovic, everybody in a white shirt. Behind the ball now for Fulham. Out on the left is Zinchenko. Zinchenko's low cross. Skids across the turf and is cleared away by Anderson. Now Kusiasari at the other end. It's only he forward for Fulham, but he's now being joined by Kearney and King Square. Kusiasari from the right wing has held it up and found Kearney. 25 yards now. Kusiasari again does well, slows it down. Fulham retain possession.
Yeah, it's the right thing. He did really well. The big field, the big switch wasn't on.
He's not having on now though, with Traore, right corner, penalty area, beyond Murillo. Traore into the box, he's worked it onto his left foot. Murillo tries to tackle back at him, and times that intervention just about right, on the right edge of the penalty area. Back to Victor, who slices his clearance high up into the air, gets a bit lucky. McAtee couldn't hold it over Nottingham Forest. Last minute of normal time, given away by Robinson. Anderson again. Forrest counter. Dominguez behind Hudson-Odoi with a pass out to the left. Hudson-Odoi shuffles in field. Driven diagonal ball. Flicks off the head of Robinson, but it will drop to Hutchinson. Is he going to let it chip out for a corner? He is. So Nottingham Forest, right at the end of normal time, 1-0 they trail, and they will send Marino and Milenkovic forward for this Danny.
Yeah, dangerous this. Set play, we've got some big boys. We know Forest are decent at set plays, and Fulham have really struggled with them.
Well, this could be a big moment in the season for both clubs. Corner to Nottingham Forest, right at the end of normal time. Drifted in by Hutchinson and well taken by Leno, high above his head. Fulham have not kept many clean sheets so far this season in the Premier League, but they are 6 added minutes away from keeping one tonight. Of course, it's always a minimum 6. 1-0 Fulham lead. On Talk Sport, Arsenal against Crystal Palace tomorrow night in the quarter-finals of the League Cup, the last game before Christmas. And then all of the live football for you on Boxing Day on the Talk Sport network. Long by Victor, it's headed away, towering headed clear by Quaker, but Kearney can't bring the ball down for Fulham, who, as Danny said rightly, have conceded late goals in 2 matches recently, including here against Crystal Palace. Delivered in by Hutchinson, a swinging, arcing ball, way too close to Leno.
Well, I've not seen any patterns with Forest. There's no definitive patterns when they play forward. It's just get it wide, put it in, get the ball forward. There's not something they've worked. It doesn't seem like there's any little rotations or combinations that you want to see between your front players. I know the subs are on now a lot, but I think the wide players have been poor.
Well,
I'm amazed he hasn't gone through up top.
The subs are on. Have they been a little bit late, arguably?
It's just put on. I think that's
Danny Buenda.
Danny Buenda, yes. Second striker with what? 4 minutes to go.
4.5 of added time, and that is it. I suppose it is a minimum, but time is rapidly running out for Nottingham Forest here. The ball is cleared long up towards Awonyi. Header away by Quaker at the heart of the Fulham back line. He's done well in large part tonight, Jorge Quaker. Now the ball is on halfway with Milenkovic, and the ball out to the right, looking for Williams. Williams plays a pass square. The feet of Elliot Anderson. A great urgency from Forest there. Out to the left is Zinchenko, and now Hutchinson in a one-on-one with Tete. Maybe they only need one chance here, Forest. Tete standing up well to the challenge of Hutchinson, who has kept the ball down by the dead ball line. Tete wanted a free kick, doesn't get it from Anthony Taylor. Hutchinson then, playing it backwards to Zinchenko. Into the third of 6 minutes added at the end of the game. This is Talk Sport, 1-0 to Fulham. Paul Anderson not been added tonight. Fulham throw. Well, who was saying he was like, what, was it Zinedine Zidane? We were saying before the game, not on tonight's evidence anyway.
Well, I think Lucas deserves great credit because Elliot Anderson's impact on the game has been minimal, partly because of his discipline on him. He has closed him down time and time again and stayed with his runs.
Been half-headed away by Anderson inside the Fulham penalty area. Joaquin Anderson, that is. Flicked and clear by Robinson, and now King can scamper forward. Good first touch of field, and now he's over the halfway line. Whistled down by Elliot Anderson. No free kick. King ends up in the advertising hoardings, and play continues.
I suppose it was the right decision. He's having a little chuckle with Elliot Anderson there. He's just stopped his run. I like the how he's gone up. He's got back in position. Great stuff.
Halfway through the 6th inning. 1-0 to Fulham. Forest with Milenkovic flicking the ball straight out of play. Referee shouting at Joaquin Anderson, and he gets the booking. The Fulham man is yellow carded, the Fulham captain. He's really upset with the referee. I think they want handball, don't they? For earlier on in that phase of play, if you like. Raging Joaquin Anderson, you rarely see him lose his cool like that.
And he's played well as well, actually, to be fair to him.
Fulham have defended well, and they're 2 minutes away from victory going into Christmas. It'll be a happy Christmas for Fulham if it stays like this. Out on the left foot for Forest is Zinchenko. He's being urged to pump it into the box by Sean Dyche. He does just that. Jumping is Murillo at the back post. Was McAtee. Good header away by Robinson. But Fulham are still under threat here. With less than 2 minutes of added time to go. In by Elliot Anderson. Deep cross to the back post. Kenny Tete. Poor header. Straight to Hutchinson. Hutchinson down by the dead ball line. He's twisting and turning. Back to Zinchenko. Corner of the area. Zinchenko crosses. Header away by Anderson. Now on the run is Kusiasare. He's flattened into Murillo. He's won it back fairly, says the referee. Kusiasare then gives it away. 90 seconds left, Danny Murphy.
Feel the anxiety around here, can't you? See the Fulham players retreating. Anderson telling them to press on, but they're retreating. It's what you do. Poor ball from Zinchenko. Probably looking at another minute and a half, two at the most. Anderson's trying. I don't know if he's still going to the ref or what. But needs to be careful.
Working Anderson with Anthony Taylor. The Fulham fans are jubilant and buoyant around us now. They are under a little bit of pressure, but they're nearly there. Josh King for Fulham. No foul made in Anderson. No, eventually the referee does give a free kick to Fulham, and with 40 seconds left, that might be enough.
Yeah, I don't think Forest are going enough to get back in the game. I don't think Fulham have been particularly brilliant, but they've battled and they've had the better of it in terms of chances, with Jimenez, for example. And probably just edged it. But there's not been a great deal in the game. But Forest's response to 1-0 down, their second half performance has perplexed me a bit. It's looked a tired performance. They don't look to have any real energy. The press wasn't there. They haven't gone after them, taking risks. Tepid performance from Forest at best.
Certainly not anywhere near what we have seen Fulham show they are capable of at times this season.
No, release have had chances where they should have scored or something.
Halfway points. Some festive joy for Fulham. It's a great start to the Christmas period for Marco Silva and co. They move 10 points clear of the Premier League relegation zone. Sean Dyche is straight out of the dugout. The Nottingham Forest manager to applaud the away support, but they are not happy. Behind the goal away to the left-hand side, Forest stay just 5 clear of the drop zone with a tough run of fixtures to come. Sean Dyche marches towards the cottage here in southwest London. He looks absolutely furious with his Nottingham Forest players. They simply didn't respond enough in the second half, didn't create enough, mostly limited to efforts from range, and in the end Fulham did enough to win the game, courtesy of that first half penalty in stoppage time from Raul Jimenez. After Douglas Luiz had fouled Kevin, Jimenez stepped up, did the necessary, and that ultimately was enough for a precious Fulham victory. Fulham 1, Nottingham Forest 0.
Sean Dyche stomping off towards that tunnel. And I think Danny Murphy, he should possibly be angry with himself. I mean, that late substitution kind of said it all. He's got a lot wrong tonight. His players have got a lot wrong, but I think Sean Dyche got a lot wrong. When they needed a goal, there was a like-for-like striker substitution mid-game. Then deep in injury time, he brings on a second striker. Unless they're extremely fortunate, he's got no time to do anything in the game. I can't work out what was going on in Sean Dyche's head there at all.
I'd like to give you some sort of explanation, but I can't, because I understand sending them out second half, say, come on, get yourselves out of that wasn't good enough. Get up the pitch, show a bit more energy, come on, you can do more, you know you're better than that. 15 minutes in, got to change something. The wide men aren't really producing anything. Tete's got Hudson in his pocket. Amara should have one little bit in the second half, but put two strikers on if you're going to go long, put two big boys on, don't press the ball, go man for man, at least in the last half an hour, and try and get back in the game. I thought Fulham in the end had the better chances even in the second half, which is, okay, they're playing at home, but Forest have got a team of real quality players which can really hurt you. And they just lack, I don't know whether the amount of fixtures, I'm trying to think what I saw in the second half was a real lethargy in the legs. There wasn't like the zip in the play when they had the ball, there wasn't great penetration, tenacity without the ball to go and press. And even, we were praising him, Elliot Anderson, who has been terrific for Forest. I think Elliot Anderson looked a little bit tired out there. You know, he was trying to get about, but not the normal grip, and he wasn't the only one. But on the flip side to that, defensively, Fulham did not play the ship. That looked like a group of players who cared about their performance tonight. Not lack sorry, there was a lack of quality at times, we know that, we saw it, we all saw it. But in terms of endeavour, doing the defending, tracking runners, you know, even Kevin, the young lad who's playing on the left, a bit hot and cold, he's still doing up with his fullback, he's getting back in. Luke is sacrificing himself trying to stop Elliot Anderson playing. I think he'll be pleased with that, Marco Silva. He'll have seen his team play better, but he'll be really delighted with the attitude and application.
And just as perplexed as we were about Sean Dyche and his substitutions through the game, that substitution on around 65, Kearney coming on for Berger, I must admit, when it happened, I was thinking, and what was Marco Silva thinking? I was thinking defensively it might have impacted them negatively. It's a genius substitution, isn't it?
Well, I think Marco Silva had talked for him, because just before I was saying about, I was frustrated, really frustrated with Sander Berger. You're not impacting the game, you just play it safe, going through emotion. Now Marco Silva swore his corner at that. I need to be sent to midfielder to play forward, get on the ball, make some passes. Tom Kearney come on with a massive calming influence on the game for Fulham. Made it much easier for him. And actually as well, the young lad Josh King came on and did really well.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
I also think a great spot with the shot, I agree with.
Tom Kearney as well, and listen, you've got to do the right things on the pitch, tactically and all of that, with the ball, without the ball. But the fans love him. So when he comes on, there's an instant positivity, isn't there?
Yeah, and they love him because he's a really clever footballer who plays forward, tries to make things happen. No, rocky times. Be a central midfielder, make things, try and make things happen. Don't play safe all the time.
Now, as Joe just said, Fulham are 10 points clear of the relegation zone. Forest are not there, 1 place above it, 5 points clear. We've got West Ham to come very soon, and they've got a difficult run of fixtures as well. What we know is if they keep playing like this, they could be found in trouble.
Well, what did we say before? We were talking about we could have a different opinion in a few weeks. How about 9 minutes?
Yeah. Well,
I haven't seen them play that badly since since Dyche's come in. What I can recall, maybe you can recall one, but they've been on a good run where they've shown a real appetite for the game and energy and creativity. Everything about them has been good recently. That was way up there. And I expected improvement, a big improvement, but he won't be happy with that, Sean Dyche. We can all see how poor they were.
They were dreadful. You've got to pick a man of the match very shortly. Meantime, I'm going to get the full time from AFCON, Source 14 Abrams.
Egypt 2, Zimbabwe 1. Mo Salah's 62nd goal for his country. A minute into stoppage time at the end of the game, 1 for Egypt. He had a quiet evening, if the truth be told, Salah, but he was there 12 yards out to sweep the ball home and give Egypt the win. They'd fallen behind after 20 minutes. Prince Dube firing Zimbabwe ahead. It took until the 64th minute for Manchester City's Omar Mamouche with a thunderous effort from inside the box to level, and then it was all down to Salah. You cannot keep this man out the headlines. It finished Egypt 2, Zimbabwe 1.
And here at Craven Cottage, it finished Fulham 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Just a very quick one on the penalty. I meant to ask you at half time. Douglas Luiz has kicked Kevin, and Kevin has gone down. But was the contact enough to make a player go down? And I'll bring to mind Saliba on Geno Barry at the weekend, where the penalty wasn't given, even though Barry was hit.
I understand your point of view, yeah. I think it's a 50-50 one. If it wasn't given, I wouldn't be upset. And I'd be disappointed if it was given against me. But the stupidness of the kick and the tackle, what can you do? You know, you can't really complain. Because you know these days, it just contact and it looks a genuine kick against the shin or the foot and you go down, you don't.
I agree with you, 50-50.
Yeah.
And he's given it today, Anthony Taylor's given it today. It wasn't given at Hooson at the weekend. But time now for us to pick our man of the match. So let's prize that car.
We're here for a hero on TalkSport with Enterprise Renting Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Ahara and Candy are standing by. 03717 22 But Danny Murphy, who's your man of the match?
Well, there's a lot of good performances. Lukic, I said, put himself about. 2 centre-halves were good. And I thought Fernandez, sorry, yeah, who's good? Jimenez, sorry, it's been a long... Do you know what? I have actually... my mind went blank then, sorry.
You got so much football going on in your head.
Jimenez did really well, but he missed a couple of chances. I'm going to give it Kenny Tete because I thought defensively he was outstanding against Hudson-Odoi, one of the most dangerous players. And he's good going forward as well. He's slick, he's calm, he's a cool head in this team, and he was outstanding.
I love that choice because Hudson-Odoi started the game quite well.
Yeah.
And Kenny Tete thought, hang on, I've got to step up here, and he absolutely did, didn't he? Class. It was a class performance. Brilliant, Kenny Tete out here for a hero. Man of the match from today's game with Entourage Red Scar.
The Here For It hero on TalkSport with Enterprise Renting Car. Here For It. Look now at enterprise.co.uk.
Danny Murphy. Thank you very much.
That was the first mistake of the night. Right at the end.
Well, Forrest made of you. Danny, you've enjoyed it. It's been brilliant. Have a good Christmas.
Yeah, you too.
I'll speak to you soon. Next live Premier League football is only on TalkSport. It's Manchester United against Newcastle on Boxing Day evening. And the full round of 10 Premier League games between December the 30th and New Year's Day in the Premier League are live and exclusive only on TalkSport. The next live game on TalkSport is Arsenal against Palace tomorrow night in the Carabao Cup quarter-final, joining the Emirates from 7. This game here at Creighton Cottage was not a classic, but it could be defining. Fulham won it with a penalty in the goal, but Spurs, they're 10 points clear of the bottom 3, Fulham, but Forest sit one place above that bottom 3. They've got Man City next. Then Everton, who battered them a couple of weeks ago. Then away to Villa. Then away to West Ham, who are just below them, before Arsenal head to the City ground mid-January. A huge month for Nottingham Forest. And let's be real, keep playing like they did tonight, and Dutch will find himself involved in another relegation battle. Sports Bar is next, 03717 223344.
Kick-off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18+GambleAware.org.
Imagine a place where you can escape for a day. Get immersed in a world of rules, inspiration, and expertise. Where you can raise in luxury accommodation. And kids can fit for 95 pence. Tickets are free to everyone and include all the attractions. You just imagine a day out at IKEA. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
We all fantasize about our perfect home, watching the game cozied up in the snug. Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn. But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fans-only stadium-style seating. Amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling, the ocean tackles are below the stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And he's there. He's made an ice cold beer. What a result. Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Samara Farah is learning the ropes.
So, no. With Click and Collect, we get orders ready fast. So customers are out of here and back to their jobs in as little as 1 minute. What are you doing?
Lunches, it's my warm-up. I need to be in peak condition for when orders come in.
Love that intensity, man. Laser focused. You might even have what it takes to be an OPB one day.
Back in the mouth.
Click and Collect in as little as 1 minute.
No stopping you. This Christmas, McDonald's and the Elf on the Shelf are bringing festive tasks to your little ones. Like writing a Christmas card for your postie.
Thank you. You're one happy helper.
Some fun, some food, it's all inside this happy meal. Until the 30th of December from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy while stocks last. Subject to availability. Very often policy advice.
The beautiful game doesn't stop at the final whistle, and neither does the sun.co.uk. So you can go beyond the last kick with expert insight into the big moments and in-depth analysis of tactics, plus the latest breaking news and exclusives. And you can get it whenever and wherever you want it.
To keep up with every kick, just head to thesun.co.uk. It's unbeatable.
The Bottle of Sport is open this Boxing Day weekend at Betfair. From football and the NFL to the King George Chase and the World Darts Championship, it's a feast of festive fixtures. And with money back as a free bet if you're multi-losers across any sport, the action just got sweeter. Fancy a bite? Betfair.
Opt in and place a £2 to £50 multi-bet. Minimum 3 legs at 1.5 odds placed up to 9 AM on the 22nd of December 2025. T's and C's apply. 18 plus gambleware.org.
Kick off live on Talk Sports with Enterprise Rental Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it. 179 and 253 is your mode on your mobile. And on the smart TV with a night sport with full throttle bottle. The only place on the dial for triple distilled and full football talk. Try the Sports Bar with Jason Cundy and Jamie Hall on Talk Sports.
Good evening and welcome to the Sports Bar Talk Sport. Jamie, how are you over there, Jason Cundy?
Anyone see Jake Paul?
Is that it?
My little throat kind of.
Oh, you're feeling well.
Mate, I've got throat.
No one cares.
I've got throat on me.
Big weekend of Premier League football tonight, capped off the win for Fulham. It was live on TalkSport. Even with Forest coming away with nothing, they're still 5 points ahead of West Ham, stuck in the relegation race. What's going on there? Elsewhere, we'll take a look back at all of the weekend's action. Loads to go. Aston Villa, 10 in a row. It's unbelievable what they're doing. Can they win the title? Alexander Isak, he's broke his leg. We have to talk about the fact that he walked off the pitch on Saturday night. I'm sick of seeing players having to walk off a pitch when they're injured. 03 717 22 33 44. Tonight, though, we've got a very special show for you. The first ever Sports Bar Personality of the Year Award ceremony. That's coming up at 11. We've got something special lined up. Get involved in the show. Talk about the weekend. We'll talk about Spurs. We'll talk about Chelsea. We'll talk about Arsenal, Man City, and we'll talk about the teams at the bottom. 03 717 22 33 44.
How are you? I'm alright. Oh,
Not feeling a bit icky.
Feeling a bit sorry for myself.
Why?
Because I woke up this morning with a little bit of a throat on me.
Yeah.
You know, you wake up, you think, how bad is it? You know, you try to kid yourself. I'll be alright. I'll be alright. Coughing's fine. No, I'll be fine. A couple of episodes, I'll be fine. No, I'll be fine. Sneezing, I'll be fine.
No one cares.
Yeah. Well, I come in, right? I break it. I live about half hour.
But you're always not this time.
Do you know what, though? Do you know what? Well, I got sickness bug, didn't I? 24-hour bug. Where I was like, all over the place, both ends. Yeah. There's nothing you can do about that, right? And I picked up a little snivel, mate. A little snivel. But I'm here, Joe. I come in, I braved it. Most people would be in bed now, mate. They would be. Couple of days.
When you're in, right?
Couple of days.
90% of people go to work.
Not this one.
You just come on here, you make a big moan about it already. Oh, I'm not well. No one cares. Get on your job. We've got things to talk about.
No, I think that this will take most people.
Personality Award of the Year.
I wasn't going to miss that one, mate. But I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Great, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're good spirits.
Good. That's it.
Yeah, got a nice little tan.
Yeah.
Looking well. Oh, you're going to cough all night. Wait, come on.
I know, mate. I know.
We'll stop dumping you. That's a dump, yeah. Right, let's talk about tonight's game. We've got loads to talk about. We'll talk about Fulham because, look, they won 1-0. It wasn't best.
No, it wasn't.
Monday night.
No, it wasn't filled with a lot of quality. Even the penalty, the decision was a bit but it probably was a game, and Fulham got over the line. Forest huffed and puffed. You know, no, it's a spectacle, mate. It's not one of those you'll look back and go, God, what's in the highlights of that one?
Yeah.
You just say yes, it wasn't. It wasn't.
5 points clear of West Ham, but they beat Spurs. Everyone beats Spurs at the moment. I'm not convinced they do.
Well, Sean Dyche can come in and just done what Sean Dyche can do. He picks up quite a few points actually.
Well, he's done right. Yeah, he's one loss.
Yeah, that's who they are right now.
Yeah, you've got no consistency.
No, they haven't. But that's what happens when you're down the bottom. But
the good thing for Forest is they can, not afford to drop points, but tonight they, got beat. Still 5 points clear. West Ham. Now, I think I don't. This is based on absolutely nothing. I've got a feeling about West Ham getting out of it.
I don't know why you keep saying.
No, you're not happy with my.
No, I don't know why you keep saying this. They're garbage. I don't know why you keep saying this. They've played 17 games, got 13 points. You keep saying that they're going to get out of it. Like, let me tell you, right? You said that they're better than Leeds. They're not better than Leeds.
No, the Leeds at home are
Nottingham Forest at home. Leeds are decent at home. And then after that, Bournemouth, they ain't going down. Spurs, they're not going down. So, mate, I'm telling you now, West Ham are gone. West Ham are going down. They're toxic at home. The stadium is so toxic when you go there. There's no atmosphere. The only decent player they've got who can hang their hat with is Jared Harvey.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
But he can't do everything on his own. When I'm watching them, I'm just not convinced they're any good.
No, they played away at Man City at the weekend. That's you can't judge them on that because most teams go to Man City and lose, right? Yeah. But that where they've got to turn things around, you made a point, is at home. Look what Leeds United doing at home. Leeds beat you up. They close you down. They're high energy, high intensity. The crowd get behind them. The players give the fans something to cheer about.
Yeah.
And you know it's like it. It's hostile. Doesn't matter what game it is. There's always hostile play. They've got something to cheer to cling on to, and they're giving the fans a ride at home. Okay, away from home they're not so good, but don't keep that up Leeds United. They will be home and host. 19 points they're on. Already. There's some distance between. They've got 6 points above West Ham. 6 points. Another thing about the Leeds play, they score goals, mate. They're the highest goal scorers. They're 24 they've scored. West Ham 19. They haven't got goals in the West Ham either.
In January, maybe they can try and step their way out of it, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't know.
Tough one, maybe,
I think West Ham fans are not prepared for the Championship. I genuinely do, mate, yeah. I don't think they're into it. Wolves might stay up.
No, mate.
2 points.
2 points and 17.
You can get a go there.
We don't joke. It's a disaster. Rob Edwards has come in. Did you see all of Rob Edwards' games? See the stats? They're always drawing at half time. They're always drawing. All the games he's been in charge of, I'm pretty sure it's every single one. They're always drawing at half time. It's the second half performance they fall off a cliff. And look, their confidence must be absolutely shattered. The fans were complaining that I think it's held up banners about our club, I think it was.
Yeah.
When you're down the bottom and you're looking for something, it doesn't normally go your way. And we saw that with Wolves.
The thing is, what fans need to understand, and I know it's hard, when you're at the bottom and you think you shouldn't be at the bottom. The teams that end up staying up who are down there are the teams where the fans get behind their club and go, right, we know where we're at, we know what we're about, and we're going to get behind the club regardless of the result. We know we're going to get beaten games, but we know if we get behind them, we might help them get over the line. And that's what I see when I see Nottingham Forest, I see Leeds, I see Bournemouth. And Fulham as well, but I think Fulham are too good to go down anyway. But them teams are...
Where's Spurs?
What do you mean about Spurs?
Oh, you mentioned Bournemouth, right? They're above you and goal difference. You're above them, goal difference.
Yeah, we're a good team.
Mate,
you're a good team.
You might get sucked in again.
Hey, we
getting sucked into relegation.
Well with 9 men the other day.
You actually did. It's designed to turn up when the game was already over. You're looking over your shoulder. They're above you now.
I don't know what... I don't know how people are feeling about Thomas Frank. I don't. And I don't know where to go with it because a lot of Tottenham fans want him out. They want him gone. And I just don't know... Listen, am I convinced he's a top manager? The jury's out for me in terms of whether he can propel Tottenham back to where I think he's a really good manager. He's done a brilliant job at Brentford. But what I look at Brentford and I go, he left. The 2 best players left. And they look better than they were last season.
Yeah.
So that says to me, is it about Thomas Frank or was it about the recruitment, the running of the football club, the way it was run, the players that had in, the coaches and all that sort of stuff? And I look at Thomas Frank, and everyone says, Thomas Frank, when you're the manager at Tottenham, if you don't do the business, you're gone. And people are very quick to jump on the bandwagon and getting rid of him. I think Tottenham needs to have a real hard look at the whole system at the football club. The wage structure, the recruitment, the players that they bring in.
For decades.
Yeah, I know, but
Well, look, now Levy's not there. Will we see a change? That's what we need to see. How much of a change is there going to be in terms of recruitment, in terms of policy, in terms of weight, all of that? We'll find out now.
well, we're going to find out. And look, January's round the corner, and Spurs need to make a statement. They need to blow the wage structure. All right, they're one of the richest clubs in the world. They want to act like a big six club. They've got this incredible stadium, all that rubbish, right? But if you don't spend money on the best players in the world or the best players in Europe, you ain't going to compete. And the problem is I keep looking at Thomas Frank and I keep looking at the team and I look and I go, we ain't that great. Like, Brentford have got better players than us. You know, Newcastle have got better players than us. You know, even Crystal Palace have probably got better players than us.
It's a damning indictment, mate, you're saying that.
Well, it's true. And, you know, we can sit here and say, yeah, Spurs should be doing this. And I look at the squad and I go, oh, back. You know, we're all right. There are moments in games where I go, we look half decent. But it's not enough. And I think Spurs need to stop going on about the manager. It ain't always about the manager. It's about the structure, about the coaching, about the medical staff, about the recruitment, about the way the club's run. Everything about Spurs, they need to have a hard look at themselves and say, are we a big six club? And do we want to be a big six club? And if we do, we've got to look at the whole system, not just the manager. Can't keep blaming the manager. Even though I'm not 100% convinced he is the manager who's going to take us back to, you know, proper football. But I'm sick and tired of it. I'll get rid of the manager. And then what? Another manager comes in, we get the same old garbage.
It's just who we are. Mate, you know what? You are back into a relegation fight.
We're not in a
Back into a relegation fight. You are.
Yeah.
Finish 17th. Mate, you're only 4 points off Forest. You only got the weekend after Christmas. You got Palace away, right?
Whoop it.
Right? And then you got Brentford away. 2 London derbies, mate. Palace, mind you, Palace are having their own issues at the minute, mate. Game after game after game.
Yeah, Palace. Yeah.
Mate, can't lose those two. Thomas the front edge will be back in it.
No. Do you think he could get the sack? I don't know what Spurs fans think. Like, genuinely, I know some of them want him out, some of them, but...
Mate, anything is possible. Anything is possible.
I don't know if you sack Thomas Frank. If you sack him, who comes in and does it?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? It's only after
because it's after job, right? You get someone come in, you've still got these players doing stupid things in games that the manager can't really control.
No, but the results and performances, in particular at home, have not been good enough. And this goes into the back of last year, by the way. It's not just this season. This calendar year, mate, you're stunk out Wild Lane. Stunk it out.
It is bad.
Yeah.
Home for them.
You only won 4 league games this calendar year, right?
Good team.
Mate,
good team.
You see 4 victories in a year at home.
It's just who we are. That's true. In the league.
I think it's 4 in the league, mate.
No, it can't be right.
I think it is.
I'm not having that. I'm not having it. It's 4 games.
I think
I'm not having it. Well,
this year, this calendar year, 2025, you have won just 4 league games at home. I think it is, mate. I think that's the truth. It is hard work.
Who's to blame?
No, there's so many people to blame, mate. I mean, you know, this is just half of it. Thomas Frank engine going halfway through. They're coming through the summer. And, yeah, Big Ange. He's just picked up from where Big Ange left, hasn't he? It's not great. What did you pay for a season ticket over there?
Don't know, it ain't cheap.
No. Someone worked it out, didn't they? How much they paid?
It was something like £781 a win. So for 4 games. So the 4 games that you've watched at home this year, it's cost you £780.
That's astonishing.
It's a good night out. It's a good Saturday.
That's not James.
It's a good Saturday.
That can't carry on.
I want to hear from Spurs fans. Give us a call. 717 22 33 44. Just touch on Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Because they played yesterday. On fire.
They are on fire, mate. Even though there wasn't their greatest performance, but in Morgan Rogers, mate, Morgan Rogers, right? I think of all the non-Chelsea players, he's my favourite non-Chelsea player. He's such a joy to watch. He's so good. He's got the lot. He has got the lot, the boy.
Harry Kane's your favourite non-Chelsea player.
In the Premier League.
Oh, in the Premier League.
Oh, I see. I shifted that.
Okay, you should. Yeah,
but in the Premier League, you know, that goal that he scored the first goal, that first touch,
yeah,
and he's brought it down. All right, defensively, they've allowed him to do his come inside. That's a brilliant shot. You know,
he would have practiced that. You know, players off that left-hand side,
Yeah.
come in and bend it towards that far.
Yeah.
You know what he wants to do,
Yeah.
because he'd done it before.
Yeah.
To allow him to do it, but they still got to pull it off. Like he was, yeah, I
Is he
think
better than Jude Bellingham?
better than Jude Bellingham. Well, I don't see enough of Jude. Right? I only see highlights of Real Madrid. I see Champions League games. I see him in an England shirt. But right now, he's as good as anything we've got in terms of form, consistent form. And he's one of the reasons why Villa are where they are now. He is a sensational footballer. Absolute sensational.
And that's the Villa win the time.
They're in the shout. 100% they're in the shout. You don't go and do what you... If you're sitting third in the table right now and you've won...
10 in a row.
Yeah, 10 in a row in all comps. I think 7 out of 7 in the league.
Yeah, sounds right.
Right? They're the uniform side. They are the best side.
I just don't see how they can keep that up.
Well,
When I look at the squad players, look, they're going to be brilliant.
Yeah.
They've got some top players.
yeah.
But they ain't Man City now, you know.
No, and I think they might catch one of them. I don't know whether they can catch both. Do you know? That's safe. But right now, they're living their best life.
Man City, for me, is the champions.
No, yeah, I mean...
Like, they're playing well.
They are.
They are playing well. They found Foden's on fire. Haaland, Jerky's playing brilliant.
Arsenal's form has definitely dipped of late.
Yeah.
But still picked up. It's a big win, that, anyway. Because that's what
They've got that best players.
yes, of course, and you need, sometimes you need a little bit of good fortune, and, what was he doing? What was it? They're going up playing basketball for them. That's a terrible decision. And they get slightly lucky with the Saliba challenge. You know, another day they might give away a penalty, but I can't see Villa, you're right, sustaining this right here, right now. They might catch one, I don't see them catching both.
Yeah.
But they are a joy to watch as well.
Do you still got Arsenal's win the league?
Just now.
I'm kind of...
Well, you know, the old candiometer, right?
Is he going down?
Candiometer's just
The wriggle room. You've got
it's a
it.
bit more. No.
You've got it.
It changes every week. The old the candiometer, right? Right. It can. We all change. Things change. You know, I'm just so Man City have moved slightly the old candiometer. I'm still going Arsenal.
Oh yeah. I just think Man City, mate, they know how to do it. They know how to get out.
Okay.
Arsenal crumble after Christmas. They don't beat anyone.
No. All right. Well, we'll say. I hope you're right. As I've said this all right. I hope you're right. I hope that candiometer's broken.
All right, we want to hear from you. 0371 722 3344. Let's go to Dan, though. He's a Fulham fan. He's at the game, right, Dan?
Danny, what?
Right, Dan. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you and all.
You was at the game. What did you make of it?
No, sorry, no, I wasn't at the game.
Oh, okay.
I had to watch it on my baby tonight yesterday at the penthouse. But,
We should go watch.
Yeah.
We should go watch.
Wimbledon. What was it called?
Wimbledon?
Huh? Robin Hood. Yeah, it was London.
Was it? Okay, good. Okay, better the game you watched.
No, I went to Newcastle with Phil recovery, and I did fancy it. He had a score again, wasn't it? Also for the Liverpool. But listen, what I wanted to say, Marco Silva, I've given him some stick lately. After that Palace game, I thought he really, the substitutions changed the game and given him the control. But tonight he's got it right, bringing Tom Kenny on. And the Forest were right on top of us really at second half, and Tom Kenny come on, controlled it. I mean, how he's ever played one game for Scotland, I will never know. He's a spinner for you, and you played with him, didn't you?
Yeah, I played with him at Fulham. He's a great lad. I spoke to him today, actually. And, you know, he's a great lad. He's a great footballer. But what I love, right, Tom is one of them players, when you're winning 1-0, you can bring him on and he just settles the game. Because he don't give the ball away, he controls the tempo. He's not like box to box. But you know, when you stick him on, you're winning 1-0, you're guaranteed with him, he's not going to do anything stupid.
No.
And that's what you need when you're winning a game.
There was so much room in that midfield for him today, and it was perfect. That's like you say, that's the ideal game, and he did got on the ball, got us out wide, and just really put it back in our favour today. And Marcus was spot on today, and I'm glad to see it. The 2 wins for us, matters.
It's the games that Marco Silva needs to be better in, is when you need to go and win the game. But tonight, it's an easy one. Bring Tom on. You know, he can settle it up, he can keep the ball, you make the team tick. It's when you're losing games where you need him to make a positive change that can change the outcome. That's where I think he's strong.
Yeah, definitely. But no, I just wanted to give I rung up after the Palace game after a few pints of Guinness and said I want him out, so I made a mistake there, but that was the Guinness talk. to nothing.
You don't have to worry now. All right, Danny, listen, thanks for your call. Yeah, Fulham, look, they're all right. They're bang average, but they're all right.
Yeah.
They're going down.
No, they're not going to go down, but they did have a really sticky old. So it wasn't that long ago. People were looking at Marco Silva thinking, he needs to ball his finger at it. And they managed to string some results together, mate, and they climbed the table. Good work for more.
All right, look, those are good. Why are we sort of like Tottenham?
No, why are you reminding me? No, do you know what?
Fulham are above us.
Do you know what? I just looked and that. Oh my God, Fulham, who's that below them? Oh my God, 14. That's what I thought.
Right, we're going to talk about Alexander Isak. He's gone under surgery. He's had a fractured leg. What do Liverpool do now? Do you need to go and spend some more money? But me and Cundy had this conversation. Cundy's adamant about it, and it annoys the hell out of us. When players get injured on a football pitch, they're £120 million superstars. He walks off the pitch with a fractured leg.
Ridiculous.
What is going on? 03717 223344.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Stay on the ball with our safer gambling tools. Find out more at TalkSportBet.com. 18+GambleAware.org.
I'm Linda, proud mum of Team GB's Emily Campbell. I know from watching my daughter through the years, the slog of training can get ugly. That's why Quaker is the perfect sponsor for Team GB. Because even though their porridge looks flipping ugly, it's the ugly stuff, the real stuff, that fuels us. Quaker, deliciously real, deliciously ugly, sponsor of Team GB.
What's up, UK? We're BetMGM Casino, and when it comes to Vegas, no one is as Vegas as us. That's why we're always looking to bring you more. Over 4,000 gifts, like Big Bass Splash, and BetMGM Joker Cash Spree, and play live from the MGM Grand, and Bellagio. BetMGM, if it ain't us, it ain't Vegas.
18+, please gamble responsibly.
Ah, Benny's parents, thanks for coming. So, Benny is really busting this term.
You're telling me?
He outgrew his bike. We sold it on eBay. Oh, that's not quite what I meant. It's free to sell up there. Free to sell? Easy too. Sold Benny's bike, your guitar, my jacket. You sold my guitar? Shall we talk about Benny? When it's this easy to sell for free, you can't help but say when it's eBay. Things people love. T's and C's apply. Exclude vehicles.
Go result. Thanks, Peter. Coming up, we have league action live on Friday night. Fulham got 3 more games live on Saturday, then 2 more massive games live on Sunday. And don't forget, league action live on Monday night. Then it's over to Europe for the big one, live on Tuesday. Then the even bigger one, live on Wednesday. Then it's the other European competition.
Sometimes a break isn't a bad idea. So, if ever you want to take time out from betting, use Paddy Power's Take a Break tool to pause your account. Paddy Power. 18+ to get the word.
'Tis the season once more for Trustford's winter sale with a wide range of used cars and vans you'll love without fail. There's Pumas and Cougars, Transits, Rangers and more with great deals across 3,000 vehicles to help your savings soar. So explore our range of offers for a vehicle that feels right with comfort and tech to brighten your night. Trustford's winter sale won't last. Don't delay. With Trustford now, you can drive away today. Visit your local Trustford dealership or visit online at trustford.co.uk.
Ready to switch your play? LiveScore Vegas is your go-to destination. Explore a huge selection of top-tier slots and live casino games. And for new players, there's a special welcome. Play £10 on slots and unlock 100 free spins on King Kong Cash. Even bigger bananas, Jackpot King. Step straight into the action and search LiveScore Vegas today. New customers only. Waiting 7 days of sign-up. 10p spin value. Valid 3 days. T&Cs and deposit exclusions apply. 18+. Bet responsibly. GambleAware.org.
Yeah, what's this? A massive winter sale at Go Outdoors. Up to 50% off. With huge savings on more kit than ever. And top brands like Ram, Berghaus, Mountain Equipment, and Peter Storm. They're cheap. With your membership £5. T's and C's apply. Go Outdoors. This stuff for free now.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. From weekly broadcast boosts to lucky dips and brilliant bet builders. Bring it on at TalkSportBet.com. 18+ GambleAware.org.
This Saturday, leave behind victory. Rank the monotony of the weekday. The spirit of Saturday
Fulham because Joe Sherry is with Fulham manager Marco Silva. Marco, thanks for talking to us. Appreciate your time as ever. And an important win for you tonight. What did you make of it?
Massive 3 points for us, definitely. To be back in a winning ways at home after the 2 games against City and Palace that we deserved much more from the games and we didn't get it after the great reaction against Burnley away from home. That 3 points will make more sense and more impact on ourselves if we are able to get another win at home, and we did it back to Premier League wins. Clean sheet at home. I really believe that we deserve the 3 points, even if it wasn't our best performance at all. But looking for the game and the way we managed the game, we were the team that created the clearest chances during the game. 2 good chances for South, great header from Raul, very good chance from Sasha Lukic, very good header from Raul against second half. We created a good one and we had the penalty that we scored. I don't remember one chance from Nottingham Forest all the game. Second half, we should have done better on the ball. First half, we had some good moments on the ball. Second half, we should have controlled better the game on the ball. We were not capable. The reason why I changed and I put in Tom Cameron to give us the quality, the calmness that we need on the ball, and he gave it. He gave that piece that we needed in that moment. But clearly, we did manage very well off the ball because many possession for them, but they didn't create not one clear chance. We did manage very well off the ball. On the ball, we are able to do better, looking for ourselves, our identity as well, something to improve and to analyze with the players. But overall, we deserve the 3 points at home against a very good side with a lot of individual quality. Okay, if you are able to put on the pitch the midfielders like Luis Anderson and Gibbs White and the quality that they have out wide as well. Talk about their individual approach and I think we are able to control always very well. Don't remember one moment we are not controlling well that situations, and because that I really believe that we deserve the 3 points.
You've got a lot of injuries, you've got players wearing international duty, so how satisfying was it to see the team really dig in and grind out that victory in the second half?
Because that they were massive, the 3 points, and as a team we responded very well, very well. Because I know that is we are playing a side that has been playing Europe League, but you can see that they have been rotating always 2 11s, one in the Europe League, one in the Premier League. We played last Wednesday without the 5 players that we mentioned, 3 in the African Cup, Rodrigo Muniz and Sessenio, key players for us. We played last Wednesday, big fight against Newcastle in a big journey after that, and the reality that we are here, not with 1 week to prepare, and the players they step in, they show the resilience, the organization, because we control very well. And that's because that we are a team. Of course, we are stronger with the 5 players when they are going to be back, and I hope they can be back as quick as they can be. We are going to be stronger, but it's a moment for the others to step in and to show what they are able to do, and the reality that we're again in a very important moment for us.
And you also had a couple of knocks tonight. Is this squad about as stretched as it can be at the moment, given the games you have coming up?
This is what it is what we have, and it is the reality. And sometimes I'm speaking about tonight we play against a side that they have to let us to rotate and to put if they play next Wednesday, probably are going to change next Thursday, probably are going to change 8-9 players. We right now is more difficult for us to do it, and if stretch or not is what is our squad. They work very hard. He's a great group of lads. He's a great group of players that they give always everything for the shirt. For example, Raul is a good example of it. Playing every time almost 90 minutes, middle of the weekend. International is going to Mexico as well. He's not 20 or 21. He's already 34 years old. But the reality is giving everything for the shirt. With more confidence, it's going to be more decided for us. But the reality that the last 4 games at home, he scored twice and we got 6 points. That is the reality. But yes, if stretch or not, now we have to manage well then. We have to prepare well because we are going to have another one next up.
The last one from me. Are these next few weeks the most important of the season because of the games you have coming and, of course, the January window?
It is very important, game by game, looking for the next one as the most important. We know that is going to be, I have to say, the word, but it's mad after in the New Year, the first 3 games, if you play the first, the 4 and the 7, and the 10 is what it is, what type of schedule it is a big risk, not just for us, for the other teams that if they have the same schedule, I don't know all the schedules. Let's look first for the 27, that is going to be the next one, but after that it's going to be completely mad. It's a big risk. It's a big risk of if you don't have the full squad ready, it's going to be a big risk for us, but let's see what's going to happen in the window as well, of course. myself, my staff, and we and the board, we are on the same page. Everybody agrees that what we need. Let's see if you can be able to do it or not. It's part of the normal December is very difficult. January is probably even more because of course you want players that can have an impact. Players just to come, we don't want or we have an impact, or it's going to be difficult for us to sign players.
Marco, thanks, Peter.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Marco Silva there with Joe Show. We're going to get back to more of the weekend Premier League action. But first, dart season, TalkSport have you covered across the world of the Darts Championship. Paul Nicholson is watching for us over at the Alley Palace.
Thanks very much indeed. Jan van Veen won the first game of the night by 3-1, establishing a very good lead at the start. And averaging 108 with 7 wickets in a 3-1 win over Alan Suter. After that, Nathan Aspinall, he won by 3-0 against the United States' Leonard Gates. Didn't really have to play it to his best ability, but still managed to get through a very tricky tie. Then Luke Humphries had his sequel with Paul Lim from Singapore, and he only allowed Paul Lim to get a few dots at double, and he would only get 1 leg in the contest. So Humphries is through to the post-Christmas action, as is Charlie Manby, who has just taken out Adam Savada on the stage right now. So we're all done at Ali Pali for the day, and quarter 3 of the draw is taking shape. We will be back tomorrow, live on TalkSport 2 and the TalkSport Darts YouTube channel for quarter 4 action to see how things shape up just before Christmas.
BBC World Darts Championship update on TalkSport with Village Hotels. Hit the bullseye this New Year's Eve. Party at one of our New Year's Eve events. 34 locations across the UK. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Darts Sport?
Look at some of these boys up there. So, I mean, athletes. I love
elite athletes.
I love the darts right, but they're not elite athletes.
They're elite athletes at the highest level.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
No?
No, I love darts, as you well know, and I've been watching all weekend, but I just can't see them as athletes. I just don't see them as athletes, mate.
Is it a sport?
No.
What do you mean? You say this every year. I thought he's cracking the white numbers.
No, get the old cundy flirt again.
He's killing it.
I just can't.
What's your
I tell you what, I have got a huge amount of respect. When we played the darts the other week, and I'm just following, right? I'm angry at the board, right? But it wasn't until I had to hit, it was 777. Now I felt a little bit like, oh my God. Now, because I had to hit this huge bit of cork, right? Just hit the bit of cork. Now you've got it tiny little bit of cork, because it don't send down the left, yes it is. And that's where I started feeling a little bit nervous. And I hit triple 19. Go for 7. And I do remember coming away thinking, I've got a lot of respect for these boys because the concentration levels, we've really got and to hold the nerve and to keep things steady. And you're going to hit a tiny little bit. Yeah, I've got huge respect, but I can't. I won't be called athletes. No. I mean, I love it. It's a brilliant game. I love it. They're not.
Okay, we're going to go back to Fulham because Sean Dyche now is with Joe Shannon.
Sean, thanks for talking to us. Always appreciate your time. What did you make of what you saw out there tonight?
I thought two teams a lot harder than both. I thought lack of equality throughout the game in general. Not crossing their side, and certainly for ourselves, or the real quality that counts, or certainly the quality we showed against Tottenham, we were sure of that. And I say about lack of effort, I don't think we faced too many problems, and it wasn't like we not sure without a purposeful chance on the penalty. And we didn't have many ourselves, by the way. We just went them odd games where we didn't really think we really have the edge to go and find the ones that we have been finding lately. And that eventually has cost us, well, certainly, I didn't think we deserved to go away with nothing from this game. It probably was one of more draws written all over it. Apart from a moment in time and come on.
You're frustrated with the way that came about, because other than that, there's not really anything in the game, is there?
No, over the game feels that we had a lot of possession, so we probably had more control from the away side than on that side of things. But didn't penetrate enough, didn't ask enough questions, did they? And the penalties went on, you touch the box, they go down, it's not vicious penalty or anything like that, but that's the way the game is now. And that's the way it remains. So, we could have done without way quicker in the move than the end product. So that's a bit frustrating. I don't think we got a lot from the officials tonight. Top referee Andy, but I just thought it was half right. That doesn't, there's no excuse for losing the game, and that must be clear.
But you know, it's helpful if you get the right decisions, because that might be the thing that changed a very tight, nothingy game like that.
Was it just one of those nights where maybe you thought towards the end it's not quite going to happen, just not quite clicking?
It was a game when I thought we'd nick one and it 1-1. It wasn't a game without a right state. It wasn't what we put both sides on. Certainly from our side, it's easy for me to talk about that. But not no lack of effort or anything like that. You know, it's like just a real one's quality. We showed it in abundance against Tottenham, but we didn't quite find it tonight. It's a frustrating one because, you know, I might have players afterwards. Handling praise is a different thing. They've had loads of praise and very deserving so. That doesn't give you the right to win the next one. You've got to go back to the beginning and do it all again. And I just didn't think we had the edge like we showed against them. And that's what we'll learn from the performances like this.
And they've now got a chance to bounce back. A tough game coming next, but a great game to try and bounce back in many ways.
Yeah, I mean, the frustrating thing is you've both got to go to the top side, obviously, but you know, you come down here with that gap and then you build back up, they've earned it. And then you go, go on then, step on again. And that's really frustrating. You know, like I said, that killer instinct to go, go on, let's go and have this. Let's go and jump again. And then all the reinforcing all the good work they've done since we've been here really gets to understand. You know, I'm frustrated on that side of things from the players as well.
So you'd be just for that little bit extra in terms of consistency from them?
Well, I think it's just being more effective, which we have been. It's a hard one to over-question it, because we have been effective since we've been here. There's been a couple of times we stepped off of it. Oh, I haven't really thought. The only one that falls balls were miles off physically. And we were poor, probably the performance, but worst performance since I've been in the club. Tonight wasn't like that, but it's just finding the moment of truth and consistently working hard to make sure you don't lose tonight, because we certainly shouldn't have lost.
Thanks for your time, Sean.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks, Sean.
Sean Dyche there with Joe Shannon. We're going to talk about Alexander Isak coming up. We've got a couple of Spurs fans who want to have their say about the football club as well. We've got the sports bar personality of Wolves coming up from 11. Me and Cunningham get suited and booted, so make sure you tune into YouTube to see that. The keep calls coming in 03 717 2233.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Download the app or visit TalkSportBet.com for exclusive offers and bonuses. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Ticket, please. Thank you. Tickets, please, madam.
Sure, let me just... Oh, this jacket's got so many pockets.
No rush.
Got it on eBay. Vintage. One of a kind.
I just need your ticket, madam.
Couldn't find it anywhere. Then, ta-da! eBay. Total bargain.
That's nice. But I still need to see your ticket.
Oh, sure. With great deals on things you love, you can't help but say when it's eBay. Things people love.
Sport. It's in your DNA. That's why at Spread Sports you get great offers and features to aid your sports betting. Include £30 in free bets when you join and place a qualified £10 fixed odds bet at minimum odds of 1 to 2. Visit spreadx.com/DNA for full terms and conditions. Spread Sports. It's in our DNA. 18+ gambleaware.org. Qualified bets not be cashed out early. 1 second get free through £10 fixed odds bets on consecutive days. Free bet stays not included in any limits. Free bets must be claimed within 28 days.
At Lidl, we've got the freshest veg this Christmas for only 8p each. Get British parsnips, crabs, swedes, 1 kilo of carrots and 2 kilos of potatoes. Oh, and shallots too, at 8p each. You're going to need a bigger colander. Lidl, more to value. Offers valid 18th to the 24th of December, subject to availability, special stores, GB only.
Love that feeling when the game just clicks? At Virgin Bet, you'll find all your favourites in one place. Classic casino games and hundreds of the most exciting slots. And it's the good bet you'll love our new member welcome offer. Just join, raise at least £10 on slots within 7 days of signing up and get 100 free spins to get you started. Virgin Bet, a good bet. Use free spins on selected games in 7 days. Value varies. Terms and exclusions apply. 18+. Bet responsibly. Gambleaware.org.
Passport? Check. Sunglasses? Check. Ditching the coal and the shop roaming charges? Also check. Download the Steady eSIM app before your holidays and get 15% off data plans with the code COOLUK. Go for Amazon 2nd of January 2026. Terms apply. See steady.com.
Yeah, what's this? A massive winter sale at Go Outdoors. Up to 50% off, with new savings on more kit than ever. And top brands like Ram, Berghaus, mountain equipment, and Peter Storm. Belting! With your membership £5, T's and C's
Casino Roulette and Blackjack at the ready. Come and play your way. Get 100 free spins when you spend £20 on eligible games. Search Midnight Casino or download the Midnight app today. Midnight. Casino no better. You decide. New customers only. Restrictions and T&Cs apply. 18 plus. BeGamblerWare.org.
Hawksby and Jacobs, Clips of the Year on Talk Sport. Join Paul, Ho-Ho Hawksby and Andy, Jingle Bells Jacobs for a sackload of the funniest blunders, bloopers, glitches and gaffes from another stellar year of Talk Sport broadcasting excellence. Saturdays show much better when it all goes for a surprise that is. Christmas Day from 1 on Talk Sport.
Yeah, you're listening to the Talk on Talk Sport. Me, I'm Jason Cameron. You've got the first ever Sports Bar Personality of the Year awards coming up. We've got loads of awards to give out to some of our brilliant callers this year and some bad ones. We're going to hear that just after 11, but we're going to continue talking about Spurs' loss against Liverpool. Alexander Isak, he's gone on surgery. He picked up a leg fracture when he scored the opener. Second Premier League goal, Jace. Before, look, I'll tell you what, let's just touch on Alexander Isak before I get Spurs fans on, because he's got injured, it's a gutter, he's had an operation. But you have this conversation with me every week, it happens all the time, about players not getting stretched up when they're injured.
I find it astonishing that they are commodities worth multi millions of pounds. In this case, over £100 million. It's a dereliction of care that they got him to walk off that field. There was a stretcher. We were doing the phone-in.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to you, the way they got walk off, you said the stretcher's behind you. What's the point? I just do not get it. Any injury now, I cannot believe they made him walk on a broken leg. That is, just think about that. A professional athlete, Liverpool has played well in excess of £100 million, and making him walk off the field of play with a broken leg. Dereliction of care. And it's not just Liverpool, by the way, they're all at it. Any player that goes off, take. And I just saw Bruno come off the field of play yesterday, right? He's done a hamstring. He's then walking back down the touchline. Well, I've done hamstring, I've done a bad one, like right through. So he's not that bad. Give him a crutch. Give him a crutch to walk up and down. Protect the injury. Yeah. They need Bruno. They need him back as quickly as possible. I don't get it, mate. Honestly, straight after the injury, hasn't been assessed.
No.
Hasn't been assessed.
Needs a scan, right?
Needs a scan to assess it. Rapidly cotton wool. Is that? Limping off. He was in tears. In tears, you saw him. He knew he'd done something bad. Honestly, I was angry when I was watching. And I can only imagine how he might feel now that the care, it's their job to care for his well-being, for his fitness, his health. And like I said, these ain't just little people, they're all at it. You watch. Players get taken off and there's a stretcher. Get the little buggies on. To protect that player.
In the league, right, when they have an injury, the buggy come on, you know, they drive on the thing and they put them on it, they get them off. I don't understand.
Come off the field of play, he shouldn't walk.
Any player who gets injured, when, you know, even if it's mine, if he can't continue and he's struggling to walk,
get a stretcher.
Get him on a stretcher.
Multi-billion pound injury.
£125 million you've paid for Alexander Isak. He broke his leg and he walks off the pitch.
It's astonishing, Joe. And like I said, mate, they are all at it. You watch in the Premier League, the amazing amount of times a player will have to be taken off the field of play because he cannot no longer play because of fitness. He's done an injury, something like that. And they walk off. Oh, it drives me insane.
No, you said it to me probably a year ago.
They're all at it, mate.
And I've really noticed it.
Yeah,
the amount of hamstrings and serious injuries we see now.
The amount of injuries that players pick up. Everyone's complaining about workload and about playing. Why is he walking on a broken leg? Someone's got to explain that to me. Maybe I'm missing the point. Maybe someone with a bit more, well, medical information, or certainly training than me. They might say, no, it's fine. That's how you get. I don't believe it. Walk on a broken leg. When the structure's behind you.
I've seen players walk off with ACLs. The next minute, no, he's having an ACL. What do you mean? He walked off the pitch yesterday.
Stretch them off. Take the care you can to ensure once you've got it assessed, then you can decide whether he can walk on crutches, whether he can walk without pain, whether he's in a boot.
Yeah.
You know, I just find it.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. And I hope that goes out to people that see this at the football club.
So explain it to me.
I cannot believe I watch it every single week. Every game we watch it. Me and Candy, we sit and watch so much football. We go, here you go, again, walking
he's injured.
He's injured, walking off.
And he comes out and they say, yeah, he had a scan, he's out for 6 months.
It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. I want to squeeze on Colin, who's a Spurs fan. Colin, really quickly, Cole.
Jamie.
How are you, Cole? You say you want to protest the Spurs.
That's not quite what I said.
Go on.
Pleasure to speak with you both. Jamie, yeah, the point I started trying to note it down because it is a little bit complicated. I think, though, in short, every fan, without being too persuaded by any other fan, should decide for themselves what they really expect and want out of following Tottenham as hard as they've always done. Can they continue to do that without getting too upset? Now, Jamie, I think you have a sense of irony when you help people build their hopes and expectations. I think you know surely in the back of your mind, especially when you said Spurs are back.
Spurs
You know,
back.
I love it myself. I always will.
You've got to have hope, right? You've got to have passion. You've got to have ambition as a football club.
You have, and
Not
this
just
is where.
accept being average.
Yeah, and this is where, though, of course we get flattened. We get flattened by the massive financial power of the top three most seasons. Leicester City are the exception to prove the rule. So, look at around at how much. Now, everybody spends a lot in the top 10, let's say, usually. How about winning the thing? Look at who they exceed what everybody else spends. You know, every time, top three requires that, nearly every time. Overachievement.
That's where ain't spending money. The Spurs.
Well, there is.
Liverpool didn't spend money. They won the Premier League last season. Right, they're spending now, but
they spent some, and they are a giant.
It ain't always about spending loads of money. That doesn't guarantee success.
Okay. So how would you do it, Jamie? How would you do it? And there are two things that Spurs fans seem to say they want, and this is where we are very much in common with our near neighbour West Ham. They would like to see champagne football and the highest of hopes and expectations achieved in terms of trophies, please, now. So, do you want both champagne football and all the trophies? All of them wrapped up? Well, that's a big ask. That is a big ask. And you try to ask a manager to come and deliver it just like that. Calm. Or even a group of players too. Now, oh sure, if they were the most expensively assembled players, they'd have more of a chance, would they not? And so a coach also, yes, they're very helpful because he can look at how he overachieved at Brentford and indeed how Emery currently is overachieving so much with Villa. He truly is. They kept going on about really.
Carl, listen, I'm going to have to let you go. I'll get you back on because we have got to move on to the sports bar personality of the year awards. Me and Andy are going to get changed. If you want to see us in a suit, tune in now. We've got a nice tight tuxedo just for you. 03 1017 2233 44. We're going to do some calls later on in the show. But sports bar personality of the year awards coming up now.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Download the app or visit TalkSportBet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
With Middle Class, there's no need to stress to impress this Christmas. Get 15% off deluxe chilled party food, like golden prawn toasties with ponzu dip, scrumptious paella bites, and delicious vegetable dim sum. Lidl, not to value. 18 plus GB only, subject to availability. Standard stores terms apply. See lidl.co.uk/LBTV. Expert resident shop.
This Christmas Eve, the £15 million lotto jackpot must be won. It must be won.
Must be what? Must be one.
Yes, the £15 million lotto jackpot must be won on Christmas Eve. There's magic in the air today. Today, Lotto from the National Lottery. It could be you. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or older.
Quaker is an official sponsor of Team GB, and rightly so. After all, the rowing team's motto is Oats Move Boats. But why stop there? Team GB, if you're listening, try these on for size. Quaker sachets, move ball sleighs, ugly bowl, forward roll. One for the gymnasts. The world's your stage when you eat some beige. You just stick to Oats Move Boats. Quaker, deliciously real, deliciously ugly, sponsor of Team GB.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. And TalkSport Bet have got a lot of brand new customers
on any football market within 7 days. For this and other festive offers, visit TalkSportBet.com. TalkSportBet, renowned for Britain's broadcaster, bring it on bookie. See full terms and conditions at TalkSportBet.com, 18 plus gambleware.org.
Looking for a diamond in the rough? Step into the world of Diamond Draw's competition. We're not just any raffle site, we're the crown jewel of competitions. We've got big cash prizes, balloon and bubble pop instant wins. We're rated excellent on Trustpilot from over 3,000 reviews, and our gameplay is flawless. For your chance to score big, visit diamondjaws.com and make your next move a brilliant one. Play, win, let the fun begin. diamondjaws.com. No purchase necessary, 18 plus.
And the 2020